business in the form of the Florida State Seminoles. The Gators would like nothing more than to ruin FSU's slim chance at a national title. And at the same time, put an exclamation point on what has been a most challenging and successful 1989 football season. Tonight, Bobby Bowden leads his Seminoles into Gainesville with senior quarterback Peter Tom Willis in command of the 5th best passing attack in the nation. FSU averages 36 points a game, but tonight they'll face a Gator defense ranked 2nd overall nationally. It's the Seminoles and the Gators next on Sports Channel.
Sports Channel presents University of Florida football, featuring the Fighting Gators. Brought to you by Dairy Farmers Incorporated, producers of real Florida fresh milk. First Union National Bank. First Union Service. We guarantee it. Scotty's, serving Florida with more than 150 convenient locations. You've got to get to Scotty's now. And by Coca-Cola. Coke, you can't beat the feeling.
Florida Field in Gainesville, a packed house tonight for the Florida Gators against the Florida State Seminoles. And hello again, everybody, and welcome to tonight's game. I'm David Steele with Jim Yarborough. This is the final game of Florida football on Sports Channel this season. The Florida Gators will be playing one more, however, in the Freedom Bowl later on in the month of December. The Gators are 7-3 coming into this game. Those 3 losses by a total of 15 points. So a very good season by the Gators, but a season that could have been a great one. And speaking of great seasons, if the Gators beat the Florida State Seminoles tonight, I'm sure they'll consider this a very great season indeed. Florida State is 8-2. They've won 8 straight. A lot of people think they're the best team in the country right now.
Well, David, we forget the 2 losses they had earlier in the season because they've been so spectacular throughout the remainder of their season. And Peter Tom Willis, the quarterback, 5th-year senior, what a fantastic year he's had leading this Seminole team. You know, the Seminole offense, David, if these guys were in the Southeastern Conference, they would be #1 in total offense in the SEC. But Peter Tom Willis is the story right there with the Seminoles.
One of the best ways to slow down the Florida State offense is to keep the ball offensively yourself, and that's what the Gators will try to do tonight with the ball control effort led by running back Emmett Smith. A lot of speculation, will this be Emmett Smith's final game at Florida? I'm not even sure if the young man knows himself, but one thing is for sure, he'll be out for blood tonight against this arch rival from Tallahassee.
Well, we certainly hope it's not his last ball game, and you're right, the Gators have to control the football and keep that potent Seminole offense on the bench. Even though the Gator defense is so fantastic, the Gator offense is going to have some production, put some points on the board, maybe 17, 21 points, David, if the Gators have any hope at all of winning this ball game tonight.
Florida State, a ball club that averages 36 points a game, and Peter Tom Willis, if he gets a lot of time in the pocket to throw the ball, he can pick you apart. Gators need to put pressure on.
Well, they do, and they got these wide receivers, the Fab Four, they call them, and they're fabulous because Peter Tom gets them the ball so consistently. So the Gator defense has to put some pressure on them, and the Gators have some good kids on defense, and they might be able to do that.
Number 6, Florida State against the Florida Gators, and we'll be back with the opening kick in just a moment. Gainesville, Florida, as night has fallen in north central Florida. The Florida Gators set to take on the Florida State Seminoles. And welcome back to tonight's telecast on Sports Channel, everybody. It is a lovely evening with a light wind coming out of the north. Temperature hovering just above 60 degrees, and we expect no precipitation this evening. There is a real special electricity in the air tonight. It has been a long time since the Florida Gators have played a night football game, and as you see the Gators take the field, they've got a new look with those blue top uniforms and the orange pants and the white numerals. There is a tremendous amount of energy in the stadium tonight. Steve Babick is our sideline man, and let's go down onto the field with Steve. And how much energy you feeling down there, Steve? You feel something special this evening?
David, no doubt. You know, people People talked about the time change from going afternoon to night, and some people were happy about it, some weren't. But I tell you what, that gave both Florida fans and Florida State fans that much more time to get ready for the game. They're ready for kickoff. They're primed for a good game. They're all fired up. You know, this is the first night game here at Florida Field since 1983 when Florida defeated Indiana State by a score of 17-13. Now, they had additional portable lights put on the press box to help for TV purposes. The lighting down here is fine, so it shouldn't affect the play at all. I expect a great game. You know, the Gators came out in those new uniforms with the blue jerseys, and it got the fans all fired up. I'll tell you what, no lack of enthusiasm down here.
Jim Yarborough, how about those blue top uniforms? That's a throwback to the 70s and Doug Dickey's era.
Well, David, football is supposed to be fun, no matter what level you play, whether you're in the 5th grade or a major college player, pro football. Football has to be fun, and I think what Gary Darnell is trying to do is make football fun for these young men that played for the University of Florida, especially the last 2 weeks, and he's allowed them to do a few things, changing the colors, and I think that's great.
Of course, this is serious business to these young men down on the field. This Florida State rivalry, it means an awful lot to players on both sides. They live in each other's backyards. They played high school football against and with one another. A majority of both of these two teams are drawn from the Sunshine State. And there aren't very many secrets when it comes to the two football teams either. Bobby Bowden, consistently one of the great coaches in college football, and he's got a tremendous team once again this season. There you see what the Seminoles have done after a very slow start. But, man, have they come on strong, and they finished up 2 weeks ago with that impressive 57-20 win over Memphis State. Peter Tom Willis set a school record for touchdown passes in a game with 6. And the Florida Gators have had themselves a fine season as well. A 5-point loss to Ole Miss, a 3-point loss in a game that was so close to victory at Auburn, and the touchdown loss in the Gator Bowl against the Georgia Bulldogs. So a season that was just right on the edge of greatness. And as we mentioned in the pregame comments, a victory over Florida State would push this season into that column of greatness, I think, Jim, do you not?
Yes, I agree, and especially for the seniors, David, here at the University of Florida, as we look at Bobby Bowden, the Gators seniors, the last time ever to play on Florida field. Bobby Bowden, 193, 73-3, 14 years at Florida State, and he's got a terrific staff as well that have supported him there at Florida State, and they're consistently one of the top teams in the nation, only losing 4 games the last 3 years, and 2 of those were to the University of Miami in 87 and 88.
The Florida Gators won the toss of the coin, and they have elected to decline the option for the first half, so Florida is looking to get the football to start the second half. John David Francis kicks the ball deep, and we are underway in Gainesville. Dexter Carter, 7 yards deep in the end zone, will not bring it out. Florida State will have the football at its own 20-yard line as this game begins in Gainesville, Florida tonight. Florida State quarterback Peter Tom Willis, the senior out of Morris, Alabama. And there's the Seminole offensive line. And those wide receivers of Lewis and Anthony can really fly, and they can catch the ball as well. Reggie Johnson, an outstanding tight end, and their offensive line, led by Michael Tanks, the center, have done a great job this season as well. There's Willis, who was on the verge of setting some very impressive single-season records at Florida State University. Dexter Carter is hit hard and dropped at the 16-yard line.
Huey Richardson, big number 90, one of the Gators all-star candidates. David doing an excellent job with a host of his teammates on FSU's first running play of the evening.
Let's take a look at that rambling Gator defense. Mark Murray and Brad Culpepper and Philip Johnson upstart. Johnson getting his second start of the season. The outside linebackers are good ones with Miles and Richardson. And the secondary led by the veterans on the corners, Watkins and Fain. Second down and 13. Carter again the ball carrier, and again he is swarmed under. He got back to the original line of scrimmage before Philip Johnson and Fee Bartley were there. And it will bring up third down and 10 for the Seminoles.
David, when Philip Johnson played earlier this year when Brad Culpepper was injured, Philip Johnson did an excellent job. So I don't think there's that much of a drop-off with Philip Johnson taking the place of Tony McCoy out there this evening. A little strange to see Florida State line up and run 2 straight running plays when they have such a fantastic passing game.
Let's see what they do on third down and 9 from the 21. The play action. Edgar Bennett has the first down as Richard Fain bounces him out of bounds at the 32-yard line.
Edgar Bennett has 4.5 speed, a lot of speed at the fullback position right there. They simply dumped the ball out to him, and he lowered the shoulder on Fain. Fain had him all by himself, but easily picked up the first down. One problem that opponents have had with facing the Seminoles is putting pressure on Peter Tom Willis. There he had no pressure, easily dumped the ball out, and Fain tried to knock Bennett out of bounds, but Bennett got the edge on that one.
First down. Dexter Carter this time has some running room. The ball popped out of there, but I think the whistle had blown the play dead at the 39-yard line. Will White, the strong safety from Tallahassee, made the tackle. Here's what Dexter Carter has done this season, the leading ground gainer for the Florida State Seminoles.
A lot of quickness with Dexter Carter at the tailback position, David, and that time he just kind of picked and weaved his way. His offensive line did a nice job of opening up some holes and created some space for him to move.
Second down and 3. The play action again from Willis, almost intercepted by Gerald Odom.
Gerald Odom dropping out from his inside linebacker position. Kerry Watkins was playing deep on the corner. Kerry had good coverage as well, but it was Gerald Odom from his inside linebacker position getting out there to help out his cornerback and just knocked the ball away. Odom doing an excellent job all year long knocking that ball down. He didn't have a chance at intercepting that one, I don't think. I don't see, you're not going to see many linebackers catching him with one hand.
No, they wouldn't be linebackers if they could catch him with one hand. Third down and 3.
Oh, he moved.
The left tackle on the FSU line had movement.
Easy.
Pat Moore still swings Willis to the ground, but...
Well, and he did so gingerly, if I might say.
I think so.
So that's a good no call. I know my brother who played for Florida State would contest that, but from my vantage point, it was a good no call.
No bad blood in that Yarborough family, is there, over this rivalry, Jim?
Well, there's been some heated words exchanged. One Saturday every year. I think that's tolerated. All right, you see the left tackle. Who is that? Number 52 for the Seminoles. Moving just a little bit early. Robert Stevenson on the weak side right there, and he was had nowhere to hide. It was quite obvious that try to get a jump on the passing situation. When you play against a quick defensive end like Mark Murray, you want to get off the ball as quick as you can.
The Gators bring 4 on the rush. They hit Bennett in the backfield. He spins free out to the 40-yard line, but it will not be enough for the first down. And Florida State will have to punt the football. Godfrey Miles is there to make the play.
The number 1 defense in the Southeastern Conference doing an excellent job slowing down this potent Seminole attack. The first opportunity the Seminoles have to work the ball on offense this evening. And again, it was Gerald Odom putting pressure on the play. Oliver was trying to make a block right there. He didn't realize the ball was so poorly punted, it almost hit him. That was a bit of a scare right there, but he got out of the way, and now the Gators have their first opportunity of the inning.
Florida led by freshman quarterback Donald Douglas, the great one at tailback Emmitt Smith, senior Cedric Smith, one of 13 seniors making his final appearance at Florida Field, and there's the offensive line anchored by Cal Dixon. On the 29, Florida's first play from scrimmage. Douglas is going to throw. He's looking for the tight end, Kirkpatrick, and he overthrew him at the midfield area. Kirkpatrick had broken in behind Bill Reagan's out near the 50-yard line, but Douglas overthrew him.
Well, I think the Gators were making a statement right there, David, saying, hey, don't expect us to run the ball all evening. We're going to put the ball in the air as well, and you better think about it for a minute, even though the ball was clearly overthrown, and now we're going to see the Seminole defense, and that guy playing nose guard, David, is clearly an All-American choice, Odell Higgins.
He is the second leading tackler on the Florida State team. When you got a nose guard that is making that many tackles, then you know you've got a great one. Second down and 10. There's Emmitt Smith, high stepping across the 35, and he's out to the 37 or 8-yard line. About a 7 or 8 yard carry for the junior from Pensacola.
Leroy Butler on the tackle. Leroy Butler now playing cornerback after playing safety for the Seminoles last year, but Emmitt Smith had a bit of room right there. And as we mentioned earlier, if the Gators have any hope of winning this ball game, they're going to have to control the ball some themselves, as well as put points on the board.
3rd and 2. On the option. Douglas has the first down and lots more.
David, that's a play we haven't seen that much this year. Even though Donald Douglas has all the running ability in the world, he was recruited heavily because he had so many talents as an athlete, and one of them is running the football here on the pitch with Stacy Simmons, or was that Tony Lomack coming around as the pitch man, but he decided to keep the ball himself, and a big first down on the Gators' first series of the evening.
Emmitt Smith in the flat. Not much running room, but he scoots down the far sideline and gets a yard to the Seminole 48-yard line. Emmitt Smith has caught 56 passes now in his career, 21 now this season. In addition to being the ball club's leading ground gainer, he is also the #1 pass receiver on the team.
Nice protection, David, up front by the Gators that time, even though Douglas wound up going out into the flat to Emmitt Smith. There wasn't any pressure on the young quarterback, and a young quarterback needs to be protected if he's going to have any success.
2nd down and 9. That play broken up by Keith Carter, the inside linebacker, who tripped up Emmitt Smith after a gain of 2 to the 46. There's Carter, the senior from Miami. This is a veteran Florida State defense. A lot of seniors on this football team overall, and this is one Bobby Bowden has been loading up on for several seasons. This is a great football team.
Well, it's a great program, and what you see is even though the seniors leave and the names change, the program stays strong because you're able to recruit so many talented athletes.
3rd and 7. Pass complete. At the 36-yard line to Stacy Simmons. Errol McCorvey makes the tackle, but the Gators have their 2nd first down on this drive.
You got sprint out action because Donald Douglas can run or throw. He threatens to run, then he pulls up, and Stacy Simmons comes back to the ball. And before Kirk Carruthers, the inside linebacker, can get out there to help out his secondary, Simmons comes up with a big first down catch. Stacy Simmons needs to come up with some big plays, David, if the Gators are going to put points on the board.
Douglas threaded that one in some heavy traffic. Play action. Douglas almost had it picked off by Leroy Butler. That would have been Butler's 8th interception of the season. He is one shy of the single season record, tying it.
Yeah, he's got more interceptions this year than Mr. Primetime had last year for the Seminoles. And Butler was a safety. He had so much ability, they moved him to corner. And I think right there you saw a young quarterback trying to do a little too much. You know, he was trying to get a little too cute and drop it in there perfectly. He's going to have to realize what his limitations are.
2nd and 10. Lomack on the reverse is hit and dropped by Eric Hayes. The big defensive tackle hit him at the line of scrimmage. That will bring up 3rd down and 10.
Eric Hayes was in the coach's doghouse earlier this year because he came in considerably overweight. He didn't even start for the first couple of games for the Noles, but he's got quick feet for a big man, as you saw right there. Gators trying to pull a little reverse, putting Lomack at the wingback position, but Eric Hayes has come on strong for the Seminoles here as they make a run to be the #1 team in the nation.
The Gators have converted their previous 2 third down attempts, but this one is 3rd down and 10.
And the Noles crowd the line of scrimmage.
Douglas feels the pressure and now feels the licks. Terrell Buckley was the first Seminole to make the play. And will bring up a 4th down, and Hank Rome will try and back up the Seminole offense.
Well, that was a successful series, David, because what's happened is look at the field position now, and the Gators are going to hopefully, for their sake, pin the Seminoles deep in their own territory, and that vaunted Seminole defense will have to go a long way to get points on the board. So that Gator offense helping the Gator defense in this instance.
Lone sails it high, and it is going to be too deep as it bounds into the end zone. Florida State will bring the ball out to the 20. We've got some fisticuffs. Stacey Simmons and Dedrick Dodge were having it out with one another. Players from both benches stream onto the field.
Yeah, Tim Paulk was out there mixing it up as well, and Dodge is a senior from Mulberry, Florida. He's been a good player for the Seminoles, and last thing you want to see is the guys getting out there with this extracurricular activity. There's plenty of chances you get to hit each other when
it's legal.
That's right.
There were penalty flags on. They may assess unsportsmanlike against both teams. That's what usually happens in these situations because it's difficult to single out one player over another.
Timeout.
We have a timeout. There's no score in the first period from Florida Field. Back in just a moment.
Quality. Let me tell you something about quality. You want to buy the best car, you're going to pay a little more. The same thing goes for a good suit or a fine fishing rod. It's just a fact of life. Quality costs more, but you pay the extra because you want a product you can depend on, one that will last. It's called getting your money's worth. This little bit of wisdom is brought to you by Curtis Mathis, the most expensive television set in America, and darn well worth it.
On the next episode of Divorce Court.
She needs a real mother, not some medically adjusted gelding who's pretending...
Shut up, damn it! What do you know about being a real mother? You don't even know about being a woman.
How are you going to introduce him to your friends after he's had this operation?
I guess I'll just say he's my mom.
Kate was having a slumber party, and suddenly, Karen walked in the front door wearing a dress, heels, and makeup.
Monday afternoon at 5:30 on...
The broadcast rights to this game have been granted to Sportschannel Florida by the University of Florida solely for the entertainment of our audience. Any reproduction, retransmission, or other use of this program without the express written consent of Sportschannel Florida is prohibited. Florida State's second offensive possession. The Seminoles first time around picked up one first down before punting. The Florida Gators picked up 2 first downs, but could not down the football inside the 20, so the Seminoles will have it at their own 20-yard line. That Florida State passing attack ranks in the top 5 nationally. The Florida Gators very, very stingy against the run in particular, but also one of the top teams defensively against the pass. And they will have their work cut out tonight against this high-powered Florida State offense.
David, both Seminole drives are here in the first quarter starting on the Knoll 20-yard line.
A handoff to the tailback, Dexter Carter. B. Bartley hit him hard at the 31-yard line, but that is a Florida State first down and a 12-yard gain.
Well, let's look at the line of scrimmage right now as Carter breaks through. You're going to see Pat Moore get picked off right there. An excellent block. Look at the tight end fighting to shield his tailback. And finally, it's B. Bartley coming over making the hit. But Carter is very quick, very dangerous, and he can go all the way at any time.
Carter gets the handoff again. This time there is nowhere to go. And 8 Gators are in on the tackle.
9.
Brad Culpepper was there first.
I think 9. And you're going to have to do that. There was a cutback possibility there. There was some movement, but then the Gators reacted so quickly. Watch at the bottom of your screen. He's going to cut back to your left. There was an opening there for a moment, but then Jerry Odom tried to get out there. B. Bartley cut him off from the outside. Now we're going to see 9 orange hats on the football. Hey, why not when you're playing your arch rival? Get in your shots.
2nd and 9. Odom coming on a blitz. Willis has the time. Dawsey makes the catch and may have the first down as well. Richard Fain got there but could not prevent Lawrence Dawsey from picking up first down yardage.
Yeah, Richard Fain playing very loose right there. in coverage on Dawsey. Dawsey cuts to the sideline, very wide open. Peter Tom gets him the ball. Now Fain is going to over-hit right here, and without help from his teammates, Godfrey Miles comes over and saves Fain there, where Dawsey would still be running down the sideline. So Richard Fain's got his work cut out for him out there, not only to cover, but then come up with a securing tackle.
Bobby Bowden will take the Seminoles to their 9th straight game under his leadership. Jerry Odom in the backfield wraps up Dexter Carter around the ankles and stops him for no gain. We have another penalty flag thrown. The Gators clapping their hands as if the penalty is going to go against the Florida State Seminoles, but we'll have to wait for the official signal. Personal foul will go against Florida State.
Well, in the heat of the battle, you can't do stupid things. You got to keep your poise. Coaches say play aggressively, but keep your poise. And right there, one of the Noles lost his poise, and he's going to back up his team, what, maybe 15 yards? It looks like it.
It's a big one.
You see, that's just unexcusable. And he'll never be able to talk his way out of it when he gets over and visits with Bobby Bowden, whoever was responsible. You can't do those things.
Will White is replaced by Monty Groh in the Gators secondary at the free safety spot. Groh, the freshman from Inverness, number 10.
Yeah, he's in a hot seat, isn't he?
2nd and 23. Carter breaks out of the backfield and is chased down from behind by Huey Richardson at the 36-yard line.
Yeah. What Gary Darnell, the interim head coach and defensive coordinator of the Gators, tried to do right there, send his inside linebackers, and Jerry Odom was really putting heat on Peter Tom Willis. But guess what? It wasn't a pass, it was a draw. Now Odom almost overruns it. Culpepper, the nose guard's fighting his way, Mark Murray. But Carter breaks loose from the first line of defense and gets in the secondary and finally chased down by the Gator pursuit.
That's going to be a battle to watch there. The nose guard, Culpepper, against what many believe is one of the best centers in the country in Michael Tax, number 68. We'll keep an eye on that matchup all night long. 3rd and 16. Willis hit as he delivers it and overthrows one receiver, underthrows another, whichever you prefer. Fee Bartley really drilled Peter Tom Willis as he released the football. And that is exactly what the Gators defense needed to be doing tonight, Jim, putting some pressure on Willis, make him hurry some throws, and hope that he might make mistakes. He does not make many unless you pressure him.
And that's the strong safety, David, coming in on the blitz. So the Gators trying to shake things up and slow these Seminoles down.
Charlie Ward shanks one out of bounds. He was getting some pressure from Tim Falk on the rush. And they spot the ball at about the 48-yard line. Not a good kick by Charlie Ward.
Well, who do you think's winning the battle of field position right here?
The Gators have got them all the way, but it's a scoreless football game with 5:53 to play in the first period.
But when you're a considerable underdog and you're facing one of the top teams in the nation, you need that field position advantage anytime you can get it.
There is no score from Florida Field, and we'll be back with more in just a moment.
If your cable company doesn't offer you Sportschannel Florida, they're denying you Florida's most comprehensive sports network.
They're trying to call timeout, but Donald Douglas, quarterback keeper, fights his way into the end zone. That was all Donald Douglas, and the freshman scores for the Gators.
Sportschannel Florida has your ticket for complete coverage of the Florida Gators, Miami Hurricanes, USF Bulls, Jacksonville University Dolphins, and exclusive coverage of the National Hockey League.
Buffalo zone, there's the pass to Messier going right in and goes. Messier!
If your cable company hasn't added Sportschannel yet, call them today and let them know that you don't want to miss out on any more of the action from your favorite teams. Sportschannel is your home for the Gators, Canes, NHL, Dolphins, Bulls, and much more. Call your cable company today.
Don't forget to join us for our next University of Florida basketball game on Tuesday, December 5th at 7:30 p.m. when the new coach Don DeVoe and the Gators host the Fighting Illini from the University of Illinois. Watch Gators standout Dwayne Chintzes showcase some of his exciting slam dunk maneuvers only on Sports Channel. May not be available in all areas. Check your local listings for date and time. Might even catch a couple of double Ds. Dwayne Davis dunks.
Well, speaking of Ds, here's a D right here. Gary Darnell, interim head coach for the Gators. Just a super young man, a great young coach in college football. Has tremendous respect from the Gator players, and he's done an outstanding job under difficult situation here late in the 1989 season. But
and of course his future is uncertain at this point. The season coming to a close, and Gary, the interim head coach at the University of Florida. But one thing we know is Gary Darnell will be coaching somewhere next fall. He is one of the real fine young coaches in college football. Flags everywhere as Douglas runs for his life. Shelton Thompson gets him back at the 35-yard line. But let's see what the penalty flags were all about.
Well, the Gators picked up the blitz initially right there, but then Shelton Thompson from the outside gave Donald Douglas nowhere to go. He couldn't even throw the ball away right there. What's the penalty? Against the Gators, and they'll probably decline it.
The ball spotted at the 43-yard line. Florida State has such tremendous team speed overall. You'd have to put them in the same category with Miami and Notre Dame in terms of overall team speed. And the Gators are not too far behind, I don't think, in that department either.
I read a quote from George Perlis, the head coach at Michigan State, says, "Hey, I'm glad I'm not playing the Seminoles anymore. I cannot believe the team speed those kids have in Florida." And it is terrific. All three universities in the state of Florida have great team speed.
Emmett Smith got the handoff and then got clobbered at the line of scrimmage. Again, the linebacker, Keith Carter, and let's take a close look. Odell Hagens and Cal Dixon. Hagens, number 53, may be the premier nose guard in college football.
Well, what is so outstanding about that play is Cal Dixon had the advantage there initially, made a good bump, but Odell Hagens was so quick, shed the block, and then made the tackle at the line of scrimmage. So not only do you have to block him, you got to keep him blocked. Very difficult.
96 tackles on the year for the senior from Bartow, Florida.
Dixon had good movement there initially, though.
2nd and 15. Douglas pursued again and did not get back to the line of scrimmage again. Again, it was Carter there and Eric Hayes. And it will be 3rd down and about 16 for the Gators.
Well, Keith Carter looks like he's majoring in show business at Florida State. He's not bashful out there as he bows to the crowd. But the Gators will not put points on the board like this. Donald Douglas has to get the ball in the air on occasion. He just can't tuck it and run all the time. You might hang with these Seminoles for a little while, but you're not going to have that great a success unless you have success passing the ball.
And now an obvious passing situation. 3rd and 16. Douglas. Pass dropped by Cedric Smith, the fullback. It'll bring up the 4th down.
And David Emmett Smith was wide open. There wasn't a Seminole within a hand grenade of him, but he wasn't looking at him, and that's inexperience. That's just inexperience of the young quarterback as we look at Hank Roan, who again hopes to push the Seminoles deep into their own territory. But they've got 10 Noles at the line of scrimmage. They might be coming after this one.
Roan gets the kickoff. And Terrell Buckley, one of the top punt return men in the country. His flags are down, and Buckley is drilled at the 30, or rather the 25-yard line. Another penalty flag is tossed in for good measure. Tempers are flaring here at Florida Field tonight. We've already had several unsportsmanlike conduct calls, and we may be looking at yet another. These two arch rivals in the Sunshine State, both with outstanding football teams, both headed to postseason bowl games. Florida State still holds a slim hope of winning the national championship, although that hope would seem to be rather dim as they've got 2 losses suffered early in the year that have really come on to haunt them late in the season, even though they may have the best team in the country.
Yeah, I think
it's tough to overcome 2 early losses.
I think the deal is the best team for the whole season gets number 1, not necessarily the best team in the country toward the end of the season. As we see offsetting personal fouls here. One personal foul was on a blocking attempt, and the other, I think, was a dead ball. Oh, 26.
Myrick Anderson.
Now, Myrick's going to go sit down and for about 15 minutes and probably won't be back in the ball game. He gets pumped up when he gets out there, and he just did some silly things and hurts his team.
While they sort things out on the field, let's check in with our sideline man, Steve Babbitt.
During the middle of the week, people ask Gary Darnell, how do you put pressure on Peter Tom Willis? Well, we've seen it so far tonight. He's blitzed Steve Bartley, he's blitzed Jerry Odom, and even Pat Moore came on a blitz one time. Now you look at Florida offensively, they've got to provide some protection for Donald Douglas. He is being harassed right off the snap of the ball. If they're going to have success passing the ball, Donald Douglas will need some time tonight.
We're still trying to figure out what the officials have called here. It looks like 2 personal fouls against the Florida Gators. And we have an official timeout, so we'll try and sort things out when we come back. 4:10 left in the first period from Gainesville, and we're still scoreless. The Gators and the Seminoles. Back in a moment.
Sports Channel presents the hot shots of the collegiate circuit. Feel the power and excitement of men's college basketball. Our coverage is highlighted by 20 appearances of the Fighting Irish of Notre Dame, 8 run-and-gun shootouts with the Running Rebels of UNLV, the Atlantic 10 Conference Game of the Week, plus appearances by UCLA, Temple, Florida, defending national champions.
Compaq has consistently led the industry with products that incorporate the latest technology.
Ms. Lucas, it's time to board.
You have time for this?
I have time.
The Compaq laptop pushes the state of the art.
We're cruising at 35,000 feet. You'll enjoy the flight.
I already am.
For a truly user-friendly computer store, turn to DeBonis Associates Computer Center.
If you think drugs and alcohol are exciting and will open doors for you, you may be right.
At Florida Field in Gainesville, and we are still trying to mark off the penalties which have been assessed against both football teams. As best we can figure, there was a clipping penalty early on the return against Florida State, and then after the play ended, there were apparently 2 dead ball fouls, personal fouls, against the Florida Gators. And it looks like the ball has wound up just about where Buckley returned it to begin with. So much ado about nothing, it would appear. The ball is spotted at the 27-yard line.
And that's the best field position the Noles have had to start a drive here in the first quarter of this ball game tonight. Their own 27.
4 first downs for the Seminoles, 2 for the Gators. Willis wants to go deep. Lewis has a couple of steps on his man and cannot make the catch.
Oh, he did have a step on Kerry Watkins, but he made it up somehow, miraculously. Ronnie Lewis had just blown right by him, David. But Kerry Watkins made up about 6 yards as Peter Tom delivered a perfect pass. He really didn't float the ball out there.
Willis threw that pass about 60 yards in the air.
And Watkins did not give up. Here he's beat, and he just guesses right there. He guesses that the ball is there.
And his hand came in just as the ball arrived.
If he had guessed a second sooner, it would have been a violation. But he guessed, stuck his hand out there just at the moment the ball arrived.
That was a great play by the senior from Pensacola. 2nd and 10 from the 27. The handoff to Dexter Carter. And Tim Paulk, the linebacker, came blitzing in from his inside linebacking position and made the tackle.
With one arm. This Paulk kid is an outstanding athlete. Gerald Odoms kept him on the bench most of this year with his spectacular play. But Paulk's the one that made the play there. Let's go down to Steve Babbitt on the sideline. Steve?
Thanks. You know, on that personal foul, what happened was 2 separate referees called the same personal foul on Greg Grandison, so that's where they got 2 personal fouls on Florida. Finally, they figured out, hey, we got the same guy. It's only 1 personal foul. Hey, things are tough enough as it is out there without double fouls being called, so they straightened it out and everything worked out okay.
Well, Steve, we're going to have to send you back to work because we're baffled again because they've just marked another penalty off against the Florida Gators.
And I don't understand that if that's on Paulk. He grabbed the shoulder pads. You can grab the shoulder pads. You can grab the waistband. You can grab arms, legs, heads. You just can't grab the face mask. And I never saw a face mask there, did you?
No, it appears, though, that the officials sense the heated emotions down there, and that wouldn't be hard to do.
Well, you can't.
And they're trying to keep the game under control early, perhaps. 1st and 10 now as Willis has to step up. He wants Terry Anthony, who is all alone, for the touchdown. Well, was Anthony all by himself or what? Anthony had caught just one pass against the Florida Gators in his career. The senior from Daytona Beach out of Mainland High School just caught a bomb from Peter Tom Willis, 62 yards on the play.
And he's running a post route. He's running away from Richard Fain. And what made that play happen? Fain got lost right there. And Anthony ran right by him. And Peter Tom had that extra second. It just really blew the ball down the field. And Anthony just ran under it. And Fain couldn't make up the distance.
The extra point by Richie Andrews is through the uprights. It's 7-0 Florida State with 3:22 to play in the first period. That touchdown catch by Anthony was his 8th of the season. And Peter Tom Willis just threw his 18th touchdown pass of the year. He's got 31 in his career, and watch him air it out.
And Terry Anthony has the best speed of the Fab Four, and he just blisters Fain here. Peter Tom takes a couple of steps forward and just unloads the ball down the field, and Anthony runs right under. Just a beautiful play, and I think the Seminoles feel now that they can come out and bomb these Gators, and that's probably what they'll try to do. They were just being a little conservative. Now they come out with a big play, and I think they might stick with that philosophy.
Well, which should make it a bit easier for them to run the football as well, now that they've opened up things with the passing game.
Well, it scares me just to watch that. Imagine how the Gator quarterbacks feel, you know, to see a kid running that far down the field that fast and the ball coming at him.
Bill Mason will kick off. Florida State has struck with a 62-yard touchdown pass from Willis to Terry Anthony. Lomack and Simmons stand deep. And it will be Tony Lomack from the 11-yard line. Another penalty flag is down. Lomack to get to 50. He may go all the way. They catch him from behind at the 24-yard line, but there are penalty flags on the Florida side of the 50-yard line. And we'll have to see what that is all about. Phil Mason saved Lomack from going all the way. But they have got a penalty against the Florida Gators, and they're going to bring it back.
And it's not a clip, it's a holding call. Very difficult to see a specialty team play these days without a flag on the field.
Lomack has become one of the premier return men in college football in this his senior season. He does a great job of following his blocks here.
Well, the flag's already on the turf, and we didn't see the holding violation, but nonetheless, very difficult for the Gators to turn around and walk backwards after Lomack gave him such a great opportunity running that kickback.
Ball is at the 27-yard line after the penalty. In Florida territory, not Florida State. Emmitt Smith got 4 tough yards to the 31-yard line. Tackled by Keith Carter. Florida State's drive was only 3 plays in length, and 62 of those 73 yards came on that one pass from Willis to Anthony.
Well, they can strike so quickly, and what the Gators have to do is eat some clock, move the chains, get some points, but keep that no offense on the sideline.
2nd and 6. Emmitt Smith, short side of the field, and cannot turn the corner as he was chased out of bounds by Anthony Moss, the outside linebacker, and it will be 3rd down and still 6.
I think that Seminole defense is getting more confidence now that they can shut down the Gators no matter what they try. They're not too concerned about the Gators passing the ball. And here they're shutting down All-American Emmitt Smith, big number 78, Eric Hayes making that play. 4 Gator penalties, 3 Knoll penalties so far as the Gators call timeout here.
Gators have to use the timeout to talk things over. There's the freshman quarterback out of Liberty, Texas, moving to the Florida side of the field to talk about this third down play. The Gators got 2 first downs on their first offensive possession, but were unable to move it at all on their second opportunity. And now they're faced with a third down play coming up. It'll be 3rd down and 6. The heat is on as our coverage of NBA basketball continues on Friday, December 8th at 7:30 p.m. when the Orlando Magic jump up against Kevin Edwards and the Miami Heat. Watch the Heat spread some magic on the court from the Miami Arena, only on Sports Channel, home of the Heat. May not be available in all areas. Check your local listings for date and time.
Gary Darnell looks on as he paces the sideline as Gator offense having some problems. Only 25 rushing yards here in the first quarter, only 10 passing yards. And as we mentioned, you got to be able to move the ball, get points on the board if you have any hope at all of beating this Florida State Seminole team. So very big 3rd down here, David, early in the first quarter.
Florida has been getting those yards on the ground consistently throughout the season, pretty much against whatever defense they've played, and they've played some pretty good ones. But tonight, as you mentioned, they've been tough to come by here in the first period. They have also not been getting the yardage on first down that they've been accustomed to. But that's another story we'll get into later. 3rd down, Douglas throwing on the run. He short hops it, intended for Terrence Barber.
And we have a roughing the passer by Kurt Carruthers, David, inside linebacker for the Seminoles, needlessly throws the Gator quarterback to the turf after the ball bounces on the ground. And once again, you have a situation where a young man loses his poise and comes back to haunt his ball club. There, Douglas just a poorly thrown pass, but the Gators are going to get a break because of Carruthers' mental error.
The penalty will give the Gators a first down. Florida State leads 7-0. They're late in the first period from Florida Field in Gainesville.
Bobby Bowden
not happy at all about the call.
Say, I don't understand this, but you don't want to see the officials control the game. You want the kids to play. But so far, there's been a lot of laundry on the field.
The freshman quarterback has his ball club at the 46-yard line. Darrell Perry is now the fullback. Tony Lomack makes the catch, but just is able to hold on as Leroy Butler gets there right as the ball arrives and makes the tackle at the 49-yard line of Florida State, a gain of 5.
I thought Leroy Butler was breaking on the ball. I thought he knew exactly what he wanted to do, but fortunately for Gator fans, he goes for the wide receiver. Donald Douglas trying to hit a quick hitch out here. Tony Lomack, the wide receiver there.
Butler has moved successfully from the safety position he played a year ago and doing a great job at the left corner. Emmett Smith finds a slice of a hole and cuts through it to the 44-yard line of Florida State. He'll be close to a first down. And I think I saw another yellow flag drop in on top of the play. Did I?
I hope not.
I think so. It came in late. After the play was over. Well, and I think it's a personal foul against Florida State.
It's a difficult situation unless they're just clearly these violations are taking place, and they must be. Those officials are a lot closer to the action than you or I, but I can't believe so many penalties being called play after play here in this ballgame.
That's sponsored at the 29-yard line.
Let's see if we can pick it up, David. Emmett Smith, as is his tradition, fights off a couple of blocks, tries to pick up extra yardage. Hard to see a penalty there.
Douglas calls for the audible. The blitz is on, and Douglas is running for his life from the word go. And he is dropped at the 34-yard line. As Anthony Moss, big number 99, the junior out of Miami, Southridge High School, Came in from the side, and Douglas ran right into it.
Well, I don't know what he thought he saw. I guess he saw an inside linebacker blitz, but he didn't know that there was additional pressure coming from Anthony Moss on the outside, and the Gators have great field position because of a couple of penalties, and they immediately take a 6-yard loss. So got to take advantage of this opportunity. A lot of pressure on the Gator offense right now. They have to rise to the occasion.
Barber and Simmons, the wide receiver, as Douglas rolls that way and finds Simmons at the 32. He steps out of bounds at the 31-yard line. Butler made the play. On 2nd and 17, the Gators get about 4 yards on that pass play. Only 37 seconds left in the first period. Florida State, if you joined us late, scored on a 62-yard touchdown pass from Peter Tom Willis to Terry Anthony. This time the receivers go to the wide side of the field, Ernie Mills and Stacy Simmons. On 3rd down and 12. A handoff to Emmitt Smith on a trap play to the left side, and Butler slings him down at the 29-yard line. Emmitt's still running, but I think they had him down. Or did he spin away from there without being taken down? We have another penalty flag thrown.
Shelton Thompson is out there chasing Stacy Simmons. I thought it looked like they got Emmitt's face mask. Where are they going to mark the ball? They're going to mark the ball where I think he got the first down.
He must have slung free, but the penalty is going to go against the Gators, I think. I think Stacy Simmons is going to be called for a personal foul. He got into a battle against one of the Florida State players, and maybe we can pick it up on the replay. I'm interested to see how Emmitt Smith got away from Leroy Butler right here.
All right, he grabs the jersey. Really a great...
He never went down.
No, he didn't go down. He's still fighting. His knee did not go down. Stacy Simmons.
There's Simmons at the top of your screen, but we lose him now.
Well, he must have hit Shelton Thompson, because Shelton Thompson, number 93, came running after him. Oh, now we got another penalty. Looks like some bad mouthing going on from the Seminoles. Number 93, Shelton Thompson, had a few choice words to say to the official.
This is incredible.
Well, this drives a coach crazy, that his kids will not listen. They will not take direction. They get out there and start doing their own thing, which is what they're not supposed to do. They're supposed to do the team thing. Here you got a situation where a kid goes up and starts mouthing off to the official. Just stupid.
Bobby Bowden had some heated words with... Right there you see him. Some heated words with his defensive players. He is just trying to settle his team down, as Gary Darnell, I'm sure, is trying to do on the Florida bench as well. It's unbelievable how many personal foul calls we've had in this game.
And we got a field goal attempt. What the heck is going on here? It's 4th down?
I guess they did not get the first down. Emmitt Smith's run must not have...
What?
Must not have been for the first down. It's 4th down and inches. And the field goal team is on. And Florida State can't get enough players on the field, and they have to call a timeout with 25 seconds left in what has been a very long and rather confusing first quarter. The penalty situations, the Gators have been penalized 5 times for 59 yards. And Florida State has been penalized 4 times for 47 yards. And most of those fouls have been personal fouls, unsportsmanlike conduct and the like. And if Emmitt Smith gained enough yards for the first down on his run, and the penalty was assessed at the end of that play,
I think
they went 15 one way and came back 15 the other. Why is it not a Florida first down if he gained yardage for first down?
Hey, don't ask me to clear this thing up. I'm more confused than anybody here.
I know the man that we can go to. Steve Babick on the sideline. Steve?
Hey, guys, I'll try to help you out here. They called a 15-yard personal foul on Florida. They called an unsportsmanlike foul on Florida State for, I guess, mouthing off. And so those are the 2 fouls. I tell you, if you're Bobby Bowden and Gary Darnell, you've got to become concerned, because it's getting out of hand. When all of a sudden you've got 15 yards going your way, next thing you know, somebody on your team did something, and you're going back the other way. So they're going to have to settle down, especially in the second half, to get some good football to be played here.
Yeah, why can't they be like we were, perfect in every way, right?
I'm sure.
Isn't that what the coach is saying?
John David Francis is going to try to put the Gators on the board. This will be a 46-yard attempt and would be his longest of the season. Johnny Nichols is the man who puts it down on the turf. Francis kicks it low, but it's got the distance and is good. A 46-yard field goal by John David Francis cuts the Florida State lead to 7-3 with 20 seconds left in the first period. Officially, it will be called a 47-yard kick, and that matches John David Francis' longest of his career. Now let's scratch it and go back to 46. In any event, it's 3 points for the Florida Gators.
Yeah, that's the bottom line, David. At least they got on the board and have cut that Seminole lead. I hope we don't have to put up a summary of this scoring drive.
I'm going to let you talk about it.
They put it up in Chinese, I hope. They might as well, because we'll never understand what happened on this drive. Just the bottom line is...
Let's recap that in 15 seconds.
Good luck. But there's some happy guys in orange and blue. At least they got on the board. Playing the Seminoles tough here in the first quarter. Gave that Gator defense some rest, right? At least that confusing drive took up some time, so the Gator defense had a chance to rest, maybe get their act together, figure out a way they can stop the Seminoles from bombing them to death.
Only 3 minutes off the clock, Jim, from the Florida State touchdown to that field goal, but about a half hour in real time.
That's right. Real time is what gave them the rest.
Dexter Carter, 3 yards deep, hesitates, but now decides to come out of there, and I started to say made a bad choice, and he did. Gators' James Spear was all over it. Carlton Miles was there first. And James Spear finished him off at the 13-yard line. And again, the Seminoles were backed up. Rather, Robbie Baker, or rather for the Florida Gators, Greg Baldwin got back there and almost hit him at the 10-yard line. Then Spear got him at the 13.
Yeah, it was Baldwin who made the nice play right there. And now Spear's over there talking some trash to the official.
And we have another penalty flag, if you can believe that. It's thrown right where the play was made. And they're going to mark another one off against Florida State. I don't think I've ever seen anything quite like this, with this many personal foul calls against 2 football teams in 1 quarter.
How do you spell ugly? U-G-L-Y. That's what this is. Isn't this ugly?
This is bad blood. All right, here we go. Let's take a look at the scoring summary. Looks a lot cleaner on the board, but it wasn't nearly that pretty. 46-yard field goal, 9 plays, 43 yards. And the Gators cut the lead to 7-3. Florida State is backed up from its 6-yard line. 14 seconds left in the period. Edgar Bennett hit by Huey Richardson, and Pat Moore, the inside linebacker, and gets a couple of yards out near the 7 or 8. And that is the final play of the first quarter from Florida Field. We've finished a very long first period. Our score after 1, the Florida State Seminoles 7, the Florida Gators 3, and we'll be back with quarter number 2 in just a moment. We finished 1 period from Florida Field, and it's Florida State leading the Florida Gators 7-3. There's the total offense yardage in the first period, 113 for Florida State, 45. Look at the penalty yardage after 1 period of play. Only 12 more yards of total offense than there are penalty yards in the game. And that's after only 1 quarter. We've still got 3 periods, and let's just hope nobody gets murdered out there tonight.
David, you know, the Gator defense has only given up 226 yards per game. The Noles are on pace to accumulate over 400 yards if they have the success later in the ball game that they had in the first quarter. But actually, that success came as a result of 1 big play.
But the Gators have been blitzing a lot. They've been in a lot of man-to-man coverage in the secondary. And with the speed that the wide receivers have for Florida State, if the Gators with that gambling defense cannot apply the pressure to Peter Tom Willis and his receivers have time to break behind the Florida secondary, it could be a long evening for Florida's defense.
Well, I think it shows you something, too, to say that the Gator defense has to gamble. You're talking about the #1 defense in the Southeastern Conference, and they might not think they can line up straight away and play Florida State, so they got to gimmick it up a little bit, put some pressure on them, and take some gambles.
All right, second quarter set to start. It is second down and 16 from the 6-yard line. Willis, play action fake, will throw. And the ball is dropped by Bruce Lesane. That does not happen very often among those.
Fab four?
Fab four. Lesane has caught 20 passes this season. And there's what Willis has done tonight. And that one should have been caught by his wide receiver. And you saw the respect that the Gator defensive back has to display the wide receivers, as Kerry Watkins was 6 yards behind Lesane, fearing that he might try and blow past him.
Lesane's 6'4". He's a big kid at wide receiver.
Dexter Carter gets a good block on the corner and out to the 21-yard line, but he did not get the first down. And that'll bring up a 4th down for Florida State, and they'll have to punt the football away. Will White made the tackle with help from Kerry Watkins. And the Florida defense comes off the field and gets a round of applause from the partisan Florida crowd here at Florida Field.
And a chance here, David, for the Gators to get some tremendous field position. They can take advantage of this punt return, and he shanks it.
He almost hit a teammate on the top of the head. They knelt down it. It did hit him, I think.
And David, would you believe
Kevin Grant had hit him on the helmet?
There's a flag on the play.
You're kidding.
Tim Paulk might have touched, or did he hit the ball?
The penalty flag is back at the 24-yard line.
Now, who are they calling this on? Florida?
Holding against the Florida Gators. That'll get them the first down.
Well, that's automatic first down. Maybe they were trying to hold a couple of the wideouts whose job is to sprint down the field. Unbelievable with these penalties. This is horrible.
Very sloppy game early in the second period. Florida Gators penalized once again. And that gives the Seminoles a first down at the 31-yard line. That's the 6th penalty against the Gators for 69 yards now, and we are still early in the second quarter.
Big break for the Noles, having been pinned back deep in their own territory. Now they got a lot of breathing room.
And then they got a bad punt on top of it. Great catch at the 49-yard line by Anthony. Will White made the tackle.
You know, I thought I heard that ball stick in his hands from up here in the press box. Peter Tom Willis lays it right on the money. Anthony stretches his arms up and stick. That ball stuck like glue to his hands, and it was Will White, the free safety, making the hit.
On the 49. Carter fakes the reverse. Watkins hit him head on the corner. Kerry Watkins lowered his shoulder and helmet and drilled Dexter Carter out of bounds at the 50-yard line.
Watch the line of scrimmage. Brad Culpepper is going to get some penetration right here. See Culpepper fighting across. See Mark Murray fighting across, faking there. But Carter nonetheless gets outside, but Kerry Watkins is waiting for him. But what happened was the Gator interior lineman stretched that play out a little bit, allowing Watkins to take a bead on the ball carrier.
2nd and 11. Florida's coming with the blitz again, and Odom makes him fumble the football. It's still loose. And I think the Seminoles got it at the 32-yard line. They had some chances at it after Odom raked it out of the hands of Peter Tom Willis.
Jerry Odom, David, was not touched. The inside linebacker coming on the blitz is not touched. He's got a shot at Peter Tom here. He's going to make the sack, but there's the ball. Now, they're hung up with each other. Who's going to come after it? Mark Murray says, I want it. Mancini, the big offensive tackle, finally falls on the ball before 3 Gators fall on Mancini.
Now it is 3rd and 29.
Gators in a deep zone right here. And a sack.
Mark Murray back at the 24-yard line.
Mark Murray from his outside defensive tackle position beats Kevin Mancini, the tackle. Look at the top of your screen. Now he's going to come underneath. Mancini tries to push him to the outside, but Mark puts on the brakes, throws the big tackle to the side, and then hits the quarterback. From Apopka, big Mark Murray just having an outstanding year.
And that was with a 4-man rush. Gators almost got to the punt. This time Ward gets a good kickoff. And it trickles out of bounds inside the Florida 40 at the 36-yard line. So Florida State gets a big break on a Florida penalty, but cannot do anything with it. They punt it back to the Gators with 11:31 to play in the first half. Has been sacked twice in this game. He had been sacked only 14 times in the first 10 games of the season. And the Florida defense with the combination of the blitz, and that time they only rushed 4, Jim, but had a twist on the front line, and I think maybe confused the offensive line of Florida State, and Mark Murray got the quarterback sack.
Yeah, Mark Murray did an excellent job. Just one-on-one right there. He's an offensive tackle's nightmare because Mark Murray has the speed to go outside. He has the strength to throw you aside and take the inside. And that's what he did on the last play. Just an excellent job by Mark Murray from Apopka, Florida. He's a Blue Darter in high school.
And he was a deceiving runner, too.
Well, he's a Blue Darter tonight with these blue jerseys on. Peter Tom Willis. A new FSU single-season record in offensive passing production.
He broke Gary Hunt's old mark. Here comes Emmett across the 50, to the 40, to the 25-yard line of Florida State. Emmitt Smith busts one loose to the 22-yard line of the Seminoles. And John White saved a touchdown.
Busting loose he did, a gaping hole at the line of scrimmage, but watch Emmitt Smith turn into Edwin Moses here and become a hurdler. Emmitt, get in the air. Right there, he jumps over big John Durden. Now there's a missed tackle in the secondary. Emmitt tries to cut back right here, but finally Leroy Butler making the tackle along with some help from his strong safety.
That was a 39-yard run by Emmitt Smith. He's got 61 now in the first half. Ball is on the 23-yard line. Willie McClendon, the new ball carrier at tailback. And McClendon is greeted rudely by the right side of the Florida State defensive line. Kirk Carruthers, number 45, the sophomore linebacker out of East Lansing, Michigan, who is the leading tackler on this Seminole team with 132 coming into this game.
Yeah, he's had a great year for the Seminoles. And how did he get out of East Lansing, I wonder, where that's the home of Michigan State. But I guess he saw the sunshine, didn't want to go home. Oh, my goodness, look at big number 74 as well make the hit right there. Henry Ostaszewski. He's got a twin brother on the team. Well, you know, their mother loves to see those guys come home and hit the refrigerator, you know. Two twins at about 270.
Got to stock up. 10:22 left in the first half. And Mom, we have a timeout.
Yeah, Mom says, please call, guys, before you come home. Let me know so I can hit the store.
Florida quarterback Donald Douglas on the sideline talking with Gator coach Gary Darnell and his staff. 10:22 to play in the first half. Florida State scored on a 62-yard bomb from Peter Tom Willis to Terry Anthony. The Florida Gators on the next possession after Florida State's touchdown answered with a 46-yard field goal from John David Francis. And the Florida Gators cut the lead to 7-4. There is Gary Darnell, a record of 3 wins and 2 losses. And let's take a commercial break, and we'll be right back from Florida Field in Gainesville. Emmitt Smith gets the handoff. He's got big hole off left side, and Emmitt Smith pounds it inside the 5 to the 4-yard line of Florida State.
David, this is an interesting formation the Gators are running. It's an offset I where the fullback doesn't line up right in front of Emmitt Smith. Look at the fullback. He's lined up offset to the left. Emmitt takes a counter step to the right, then cuts back, and look at the blocking by, was that Cal Dixon, big number, no, excuse me, Mark White, number 60, along with 59, Cal Dixon. Cedric Smith, the big fullback who was offset in that formation, joined the block, but that was a gaping hole.
First down and goal from the 4.
Power I.
Emmitt Smith to the 5. And about a yard shy of the goal line.
2 tight ends, David, power I formation, your typical short yardage formation. The Gators figuring they got 4 shots to ram it in from about the 3 or 4 yard line right there. The Seminoles doing a nice job shutting Emmitt down. There you can see Cedric Smith, Darrell Perry, the other fullback. But who's that big 59? Keith Carter making the tackle and actually pushing Emmitt Smith backwards.
Emmitt Smith has just passed Sonny Collins, moved into 5th place in SEC rushing history. Power I lined up to the left side this time. Emmitt Smith is hit behind the line, and they are keying on the junior from Pensacola. Shelton Thompson was there to make the play, and the Gators lost, I think, a yard back close to the 3 or 4 yard line.
And it looks like there might be an injury. Emmitt, get up, Emmitt. Shake it off. Seminoles slashing and blitzing right in the teeth of that power I formation right there. They penetrated across the line of scrimmage, hit Emmitt in the backfield.
I'm just not sure if the Gators are going to be able to hand it off to Emmitt Smith, or Florida State zeroing in on him.
Well, maybe Douglas can get outside with his running ability.
They try him. No, they pitch it to Simmons, and Simmons is in for the touchdown. They fake the handoff to Emmitt Smith. Simmons was lined up on a wing in the backfield, and he took the pitch from quarterback Donald Douglas for the touchdown.
David, Emmitt gets airborne right here. I thought he had the ball. He was airborne, and Donald Douglas quickly pulled the ball back and just pitched it to Stacy Simmons, who has all the speed in the world, and he dances into the corner of the end zone. Just a great offensive series right there for the Gators. Stacy Simmons, the senior, getting in the end zone. Big game for him last time at Florida Field.
John David Francis with the extra point, and the Gators lead Florida State 10-7. Florida tried twice to pound it into the end zone with Emmitt Smith, and then they went to the fake to the All-American, and that guy right there, the senior from Dunedin, took it in for the touchdown on a beautiful fake with Douglas and Emmitt Smith. The Gators on top 10-7. We'll be back in just a moment.
Look at the good pitch. Right on the money. Here we go. We'll be back at Florida Field.
Is buzzing with over 74,000 in attendance tonight. Florida versus Florida State, the in-state rivalry. The Gators have lost only 4 times to Florida State here at Florida Field. One of them was 2 years ago when Florida State defeated the Gators 28-14. Last year, Florida State also won the game in Tallahassee 52-17.
Yeah,
that was the biggest win ever by Florida State over Florida.
I got the feeling 3 points is not going to hold up. What do you think?
No, I think we have a long way to go.
Better not get too excited here.
Francis kicks it deep, and again in the direction of Dexter Carter. This time Carter decides to stay back. We have a penalty, though, back at the line of scrimmage. I think the Gators may have been offside. Florida State may make them kick it again.
Oh, this is a tough break because an excellent job on the kickoff team, forcing the Seminoles to stay in the end zone. Now they're going to get another shot.
Florida State headed to the Fiesta Bowl to play Nebraska on New Year's Day. And there has been a lot of talk from Tallahassee this week, upset about being dropped in the rankings behind the Miami Hurricanes, a team that the Seminoles defeated earlier in the season. And of course, Miami beat Notre Dame last weekend and moved ahead of Florida State in the national ranking. That is Miami's only loss against Florida State.
I think it was the impressive nature of Miami's win over Notre Dame that moved Miami up. Here's the scoring summary. Stacy Simmons, the senior from Dunedin, who Hasn't gotten into the end zone that often during his career, but he comes up with a big touchdown tonight after a 61-yard drive, 6 plays.
There have been a lot of penalties in the game, but there have been no turnovers. Neither team has lost a fumble or a pass interception. So in that regard, the two teams have taken good care of the football, although their emotions have gotten the best of them on many occasions. Francis kicks it, and again it will be Carter. This time he'll bring it from the 3. Dexter Carter is hit by Marquette Oliver and slung to the turf at the 25-yard line with 8 minutes and 12 seconds left in the first half.
Well, the net result of that penalty on offsides gives Seminoles about a plus 6 yards in field position.
Florida State quarterback Peter Tom Willis, who has passed Gary Huff in yardage for the season. And there you see his numbers for tonight. The all-time leading passer in a single season at Florida State, having just a marvelous year at the helm of that Seminole offense. This is the draw play to the fullback, Edgar Bennett. And Bennett barrels out across the 40 to the 41-yard line. A gain of 14 and a first down.
Pat Moore, number 45, the Gators' inside linebacker, stepped up but missed the tackle. And finally, it was Kerry Watkins. Now we see a little of Hollywood coming out of Bennett. I don't see how these kids have all this energy to wave to the crowds when they got so much they have to do on the field, but it's a different generation now, I guess. But Bennett comes up with an excellent play and then takes a bow.
Bennett, the sophomore out of Jacksonville, Lee High School. First down from the 41. And the pass complete at the 50-yard line. Godfrey Miles makes the tackle on Ronald Lewis. A gain of almost 10. The ball is just short of the first down marker, it appears, at the 49-yard line in Florida territory. And another record just set by Peter Tom Willis. Now total yards, not just passing yards, in a single season.
And he never started until this year. He had one start against South Carolina last year. He was so effective. I think he was 17 of 20. I think he was the National Offensive Player of the Week. But then he went back to the bench behind Chip Ferguson. He's never really started at Florida State, and here he becomes their all-time passing leader, all-time total offense leader in his 5th year as a 5th-year senior. Just a remarkable effort by Peter Tom Willis. They call him PT. PT Willis.
Also a fine young man, not just an outstanding football player. Reminds me a little bit of Kerwin Bell, the quarterback that broke so many records for the Florida Gators. Second down and a couple of inches. The play action and the bullet to Carter over the middle. And Carter is hit by Godfrey Miles and knocked down inside the 40 at the 37-yard line. Tim Falk finished him up.
Well, the thing about Peter Tom Willis, he has the touch when he goes long, but then he got the strong arm to drill it as well. That time hitting the tailback, Dexter Carter. Nice thing about Dexter Carter, he can run the ball out of the backfield, but he's got terrific hands as well. Look at that, 19 receptions coming into tonight's ballgame.
Another senior on this veteran Florida State team. First down from the Gator 37. The pass is incomplete, and I think Willis may have out the corner of his eye just as he released the pass. See number 44, Fee Bartley, coming up on the corner, because if that ball had been thrown a little bit more into the inside of Dexter Carter, Bartley may have picked it off.
Also, David, Kevin Mancini was trying to cut down Huey Richardson there, and Huey's a good 6'5". Huey was down for a second, then got his hands back up, and I think perhaps blocked his vision a little bit there.
Second down and 10. Willis feels some pressure, but throws in as he steps up in the pocket. Oh, what a play. No! But they got him for Richard Fain reaching over the top of Ronald Lewis, and they got him for the pass interference. And Fain cannot believe the call.
Well, it looked like an excellent play. He was standing there. He was waiting for the ball. He was waiting for the ball. Maybe he did hit him. Let's see. We can pick it up. Peter Tom gets some pressure. He's waiting right here. What? I don't don't believe it. One hand, his left hand was at his side. His right hand was in the air. Oh, my gosh.
That was not a very good angle. But it looked like from that angle that we just saw that Fain made a good block on the pass. But the only thing that matters is Florida State gets the call in the first down, and Carter gets the football to the 20-yard line. He's tackled by Huey Richardson again. Tough break for the Florida Gators, and now they have got to stiffen as Florida State has pushed the ball to the 20-yard line.
Now, this Seminole offense is so potent. As you mentioned a little while ago, the passing game opens up the running game. When Peter Tom starts sprinting out, you don't know if he's going to slide the ball into Dexter Carter's tummy or keep sprinting out and throw the ball downfield.
Willis, a short drop, and this time throws to his tight end Reggie Johnson, who lunges and catches the ball at the 17-yard line. Gain of 3 yards, and Florida State has a 3rd down and 4 coming up.
Reggie Johnson, a big kid for the Seminoles at 6'4", but he loses his balance right here. Godfrey Miles has got good coverage. Let's see, Johnson had 15 receptions coming into tonight's ball game out of the tight end position.
From the 17. Willis looks for the tight end. Johnson has it at the 5-yard line of Florida, where it will be 1st down and goal.
Will White, number 9, had the tight end man for man right there, and big Reggie Johnson had a little position on him, and Peter Tom just drilled the ball in there. This kid is just terrific. See the little bit of position he had there on White?
Lewis and Anthony, the wide receiver. The ball is at the 6-yard line. It's 1st down and goal to go. Anthony Carter to the 3. Or rather, Dexter Carter to the 3-yard line. Jerry Odom made the stop. Florida leading 10-7, but Florida State threatening with 4:27 left in the first half.
So much pressure on that Gator defense here with the tremendous talent the Seminoles have at wide receiver. They don't know if those guys are going to come at them and block. They've got to force on the run, or they've got to get back in coverage.
2nd down and goal. The fullback Bennett is denied the end zone. He's 1.5 yards short.
Mark Murray making the first hit along with Huey Richardson. Pat Moore. What are we going to call it now? 3rd and 1.5? Watch the first hit at the bottom of your screen. It's going to be Mark Murray fighting in. Look at Mark Murray fighting in, splitting the block of number 50, Big John Brown, who only weighs 287 pounds. He's got about a 47-pound advantage on Mark Murray, but even holding him didn't stop him.
Ball is at the 1.5-yard line. It is 3rd and goal. Carter fakes he does give it to Dawsey on the reverse, and Dawsey is tackled by Fee Bartley at the 8-yard line.
I thought they might run the fake reverse there, but it was Bartley and Mark Murray with their speed getting outside. And the Noles take a big loss, and they're forced to go for a field goal right here. You know, if they had gotten closer to the goal line, they might have tried to go for it. Here's the reverse. Here's the pitch. You didn't know at that point whether it was going to be a fake reverse or a reverse, but Fee Bartley gets outside in a hurry. There's Mark Murray, who's also chasing him. Here comes the field goal.
It'll be from the 15. A 25-yard kick by Richie Andrews is good. The Gators bend but don't break and give up 3 points to the Florida State Seminoles. We're all tied at 10-10 with 2 minutes and 38 seconds left in the first half. And number 44 out of Jacksonville, Ephesians Bartley, did his job on that reverse as he stayed on his side of the field and didn't pursue the fake. And had he not made that play, then Florida State would have been in the end zone with a touchdown rather than the field goal.
David, you can't imagine how scary it is for a defensive unit to be backed up like that on inside your own 2 or 3 yard line, facing probably the most potent offense in the nation, not knowing what the heck they're going to do. Run, pass, reverse. Yet the Gator defense came up and shut them down. That's just a fantastic effort. And this is one whale of a ball game. 10-10 late in the second quarter.
And the two teams seem to have calmed down a bit. We haven't had the flurry of penalty flags for personal fouls that we experienced in the first quarter. So maybe the two teams will settle down and just play some good hard-nosed football here for the last 2 quarters and 3 minutes.
And hopefully the officials will settle down as well, and it'll be a clean, well-played ball game. Two talented football teams representing two great universities here in the state of Florida.
Tony Lomack and Stacy Simmons are deep as Bill Mason gets set to kick the ball away with 2 minutes and 38 seconds left in the second quarter of the football game. Florida State scored its touchdown on a 62-yard pass from Willis to Anthony. The Gator touchdown on a 3-yard run by Stacy Simmons, and both teams have kicked field goals. The Gators' John David Francis, a 46-yard field goal, and Richie Andrews just hit one from 25 for Florida State. Bill Mason to kick it off for Florida State. Tony Lomack from the 5-yard line. Lomack to the 25, and he almost broke another one out to the 29. David Bassett, a reserve strong safety, made the tackle for Florida State. Lomack had a big return called back because of a holding penalty against the Gators earlier this evening, and came pretty close to breaking another one right there. Let's go on the sideline to Steve Babbitt. Some audio difficulty, and we'll try and get back to Steve in a moment. Douglas rolling left on the option. Keeps the football and draws a crowd of angry white shirts. A gain of about 4. Let's try Steve Babbitt once again.
Okay, here we go. That last third down play by Florida State, Gary Darnell made the defensive call. Florida State changed their personnel, and Gary was trying to call timeout frantically as the play was going along. Fortunately, Fee Bartlett stayed at home, made a great play. Hey, sometimes the best timeouts are the ones never called.
Second down and 6. On the 34. Emmett Smith. All he could do to get back to the original line. That'll bring up third down and 6.
What Kevin Grant, number 47, did so effectively there was beat Cedric Smith's block. And he just reached over Cedric Smith to tackle Emmett Smith. But Kevin Grant doing a nice job there.
The Florida State scoring summary. Richie Andrews with a chip shot to wrap it up and tie the game at 10-10. The Gators have one timeout left. Florida State 2 with 1:20 to play in the period. This time that crooked offensive back set shifts from right to left, and Willie McClendon gets the ball across the 40 to the 41-yard line.
They're running weak side on that I formation, or offset I. Running to the weak side right there. McClendon's got fresh legs with Emmett Smith on the sideline. Watch to the bottom of your screen. You see the guard. You see the guard Cal Dixon, Mark White, the guard, 60, blocking down.
Douglas is throwing deep for Ernie Mills, and he overthrows everybody. That stops the clock with 45 seconds left in the period. The Gators have one timeout left, and now that they have picked up a first down, they start thinking about a score late in the first half. We're tied at 10-10.
Well, you got to let it all hang out. As we mentioned, the Seminoles come in here 8 victories in a row. The Gators having some tough defeats in November toward the end of their schedule. They've got nothing to lose, so shake it out. Shake it up. Put it down the field.
Douglas changed the play at the line of scrimmage. And he steps up in the pocket and drills it over the middle. Incomplete, intended for Stacy Simmons. And Simmons open in a seam in that defense at the 40, but couldn't connect.
Well, I'm glad it didn't hit him because he might be dead. You know, that ball looked like a bullet. I don't know that Stacy ever saw it. But he, that's what you call in baseball, rockin' fire. Good gracious. But he's a young freshman. Last year he was playing high school football. Peter Tom Willis, a fifth-year senior for the Seminoles. So I think you see the difference right there. This kid's just not been on the field that much.
Well, earlier in the year, I don't think Douglas would have picked up Simmons. He would have gone ahead and run it. At least he recognized his man was open. McClendon finds a big hole across the 50 and fights for a first down to the 48-yard line. And now the Gators, no, there's a fumble. Florida State got it. There was a fumble at the bottom of the stack, and here's a penalty flag.
No, they're trying to rip the ball out of his hands. Don't tell me they're going to call a foul on the Gators now for McClendon trying to fight and get the ball back. Because not only will it be a turnover, it'll be a turnover and a 15-yard penalty. But I think what they did, they stripped the ball from the Gator tailback right there during the tackling effort. And McClendon, in his attempt to get the ball back, I think they're going to call a dead ball personal foul penalty.
Well, this will almost put Florida State in field goal range. 31 seconds still to play in the quarter, and now the shoe has really shifted to the other foot.
Hey, it'll put him in touchdown range, I think.
You can see that Gary Darnell is not chatting about the latest fashion.
Now we're going to see a big hole. McClendon's got a firm grip on the ball. Now they're going to make the tackle. Now they're going to start ripping at the ball. There he goes, number 6 for the Noles. Leroy Butler rips at the football.
Willis going deep for Dawsey on a post pattern, and it's incomplete. No penalty flag this time.
Richard Fain was waiting and waiting and waiting, but I think he hit him.
We have a penalty flag, though, back in the Florida State offensive backfield.
The Noles did a good job of forcing the pass rush pressure outside. Peter Tom steps up, but Fain reacted, was waiting. There was a little bit of a push and a shove there, but I guess they called it inconsequential, so no penalty. But we have a what? A penalty against the Noles. Unbelievable.
It looked like a face mask call against a Florida State player. That's unusual to see a face mask against an offensive team.
Well, it probably was an offensive lineman in his blocking attempt who somehow got a hold of a Gator defender's mask.
Look at that penalty yardage, Jim.
Yeah, both teams, that's embarrassing.
Only 23 seconds left, and Florida State with that penalty is backed up behind its own 50. Willis, with walls caving in around him, now delivers. Oh, Fain picked it off.
Yes.
Richard Fain, who intercepted a pass last year against Florida State in Tallahassee, got one again here tonight. And that is Fain's 8th career interception and his 4th of the season. There are still 14 seconds left in the first half.
And the ball was thrown to Dawsey, but because of the pressure, the Gator pressure, Mark Murray again putting pressure. Big Tony Roll in there, number 92. There's pressure from Mark Murray. Now, Peter Tom's going to step loose, but now Roll's going to get in his face. But Fain is going to break on the ball. He says, I got it. Dawsey says, no, you don't. Fain says, I'm going to move down the field, but then the big tight end makes the tackle.
Well, after playing almost the entire first half without turning it over, both teams have turned it over in the last 15 seconds. The Gators fumbled it. Florida State, though, gives it right back with Peter Tom Willis throwing his 9th interception of the season.
And here comes a Hail Mary, I predict. Why not?
The Gators, Richard Fain, the bad news being for the Florida Gators, Fain appears to be shaken up, and they're looking at his shoulder, it looks like, on the near sideline.
14 seconds left in the first half. There's no Hail Mary.
Well, there's Emmett Smith. Hail Emmett across the 50. Out of bounds at the 42-yard line. And that stops the clock with 5 seconds showing.
Now that's, again, a credit to that young man's running ability, David. Looks like he was hemmed in, but he got outside, didn't he? And he got outside and stopped the clock. So hard to do anything with 5 seconds.
It looks like John David Francis is hanging around Coach Gary Darnell on the sideline. I think Francis is trying to talk him into giving him a shot at a long field goal.
Now here goes the Hail Mary. 3 Gators are going to line up to the top of your screen.
Lomack, Mills, and Barber, and 1 receiver to the near side, Simmons. Florida State rushes 4. Douglas throws it up for grabs, and it is tipped into the air. Barber caught it and steps out of bounds, but that's the end of the half. There is no time left. Barber made the catch at the 6-yard line as the ball was tipped, and that's exactly what that play is designed to do. And if nothing else, it certainly gives the Florida Gators some momentum and some enthusiasm, as if they didn't need any more to begin with, heading into the locker room.
Well, both teams enter the locker room feeling they can come out and win this game in the second half, and it's just been exciting college football for all of us here in the first half. Let's just hope that the penalties can come under control in the second half.
Our half is complete from Florida Field in Gainesville with the score: the Gators 10, the Seminoles 10. We'll be back in just a moment. Francis answered on the very next possession of the ball game with a 46-yard field goal, a 9-play drive covering 43 yards. And then Stacy Simmons put the Gators on top with the 3-yard touchdown run. Florida State tied it up late in the first half on Richie Andrews' 24-yard field goal, and that's where we stand with these two in-state rivals all notched up at 10 apiece. A capacity crowd, an overflow crowd here at Florida Field this evening, and they have been buzzing from the opening kick. Lex Smith, Florida's backup quarterback, loosening up just in case he's called upon for action here in the second half.
He's played well, David, the few times he's been on the field for the Gators, backing up Donald Douglas since Kyle Morris is no longer with the team. Lex Smith can play football, and it's going to be an opportunity that he might get. But right now it's Donald Douglas who leads the Gator attack.
Emmitt Smith did not win the Heisman Trophy. Andre Ware of Houston did, but Emmitt Smith is having a All-American type performance again this evening. In the first half, number 22 gained 92 yards on 14 carries. Douglas threw 9 times, completed 4 for 54 yards. And Willis was 8 of 14 for 140 yards, a touchdown and an interception. Bill Mason will kick off to the Florida Gators with Lomack and Simmons standing deep. The anglet for the near sideline, Tony Lomack from the 4-yard line. Lomack is hit and dropped, and what a fine tackle made that time by Leon Fowler.
Leon Fowler, freshman from Fort Myers. The Green Wave, boy, big hit right there. And the Gators have the worst field position they've had in this ball game, starting just outside their 11-yard line. But they did move the ball with some effectiveness against the Seminoles, and they need to continue to do that if they're going to hang in this ball game.
This is the first time tonight that the Gators have started an offensive drive from inside their 20. Ernie Mills, the only wide receiver, flanked out to the left. And Douglas gives the football to tailback Emmitt Smith, who bangs it out to the 14-yard line. Kirk Carruthers and Keith Carter, the inside linebackers, were there to make the tackle for Florida State.
As you mentioned, only one wide receiver in that formation. Stacy Simmons, number 25, acting more like a wingback, and I think the Gators want to put that option play in their attack and give Florida State something a little extra to think about as we look at Emmitt Smith with 92 yards on 14 attempts, 6.5-yard average. That's a tremendous production against the Seminole defense.
Douglas rolling left and throwing. Barber, did he hold on? Nope, the ball popped out of there. Would have been a Gator first down, but Barber cannot make the shoestring grab. It'll be 3rd down and 7.
Errol McCorvey on Barber. You know, Barber was thought to be signing with Florida State when he came out of Auburndale High School, but at the last minute decided to come to the University of Florida, and Gators have hopes that that young man will be able to come up with a lot of receptions before his career is over. He's got excellent hands, but right there he just couldn't hold onto that ball. A simple hook route.
3rd down play for the Gators on their 14. Off balance backfield. And the handoff to Emmitt Smith. And there is no place for Emmitt Smith to go. He is hit behind the line once again by the linebacker, Keith Carter. And that brings up a 4th down play for the Gators. They'll be punting it from near their own end zone. Florida State obviously made some adjustments at halftime in defending that off-balance backfield.
Well, Carter was not even blocked. It's easy to make an adjustment when you're not blocked. Somehow he got right in the backfield.
Strong rushes on, but Hank Roan gets it out of there. And the fair catch is made by Terrell Buckley.
Well, that was a good job by Roan, too, because they really put the pressure on him. The nice thing the Noles do when they rush the punter, they put a lot of heat on you, but they don't get that penalty, you know, for roughing the kicker. But look at this field position, David, that the Noles have now. First possession of the second half for them.
Just on the Florida side of the 50. And Terry Anthony just turned toward the Florida State fans in the north end zone and raised his arms to the heavens in an effort to get the Florida State crowd here. About 10,000 strong, more involved in the football game. Florida State's first possession of the 3rd period. Not much to cheer about there for the Seminoles. Edgar Bennett is hit behind the line of scrimmage by Philip Johnson, who has done an admirable job in his starting role tonight.
He has. Philip Johnson has played very well tonight. The Gators stunning right here, taking gaps. They line up in one place, they end up in another, trying to shoot the gaps. Watch some penetration right here. Mark Murray and Fee Bartley. No, Philip Johnson and Fee Bartley. Number 64, as we look at Philip Johnson lining up right there.
2nd and 12 from the 49. Willis, a deep drop, unloads it deep up the field, and Watkins is the only one who could catch it, but he can't even catch up to the football at about the 8-yard line. Anthony, the intended receiver, but we have a penalty flag back in the Florida State offensive backfield. Looks like it's going to go against the Seminoles. Number 70, Tony Yeomans, seems very upset about the call, and they're going to back Florida State up.
Well, we had hoped we'd see fewer flags on the field in the second half, but Florida State's first opportunity, they get handcuffed with a holding penalty at the line of scrimmage. Gator defenders trying to put the heat on Peter Tom Willis. If you have any hope at all of shutting down that vaunted Seminole passing attack, one of the things you have to do, there's so many things you have to do, but one of the things you have to do is get in Peter Tom Willis's face.
2nd and 22. Both receivers split to the wide side. Willis, a deep drop. They set up the screen. Carter is leveled at the 35. It is called a fumble and a recovery. They say, I think the call is the ball caught by Carter, and then Fee Bartley shook it loose, and then Florida State fell on it. What a hit by number 44.
Oh, this is a highlight film hit here, trying to slow the Gator rush down a little bit by dumping the screen pass behind him, but whoa!
Oh,
Fee Bartley is up there making the hit. Ronald Lewis was supposed to get a block on him, but Fee gets a beat on that ball, and this is a fumble, David, as you mentioned, at a reception and a fumble, but the Seminoles recovered.
That was a major league hit by Bartlett. And Carter has nowhere to go again. Philip Johnson rides him down at the 32-yard line. It's 4th down and an eternity for Florida State. They'll have to punt.
Well, a brilliant series by the Gator defense with the help of that holding call, obviously, but that's how you start a series on defense. Number 1 defense in the Southeastern Conference, one of the best in the nation, is really tested tonight against this powerful Seminole offense. Got them going backwards right now, however.
Charlie Ward, not a real good-looking kick, and Terrence Barber makes the fair catch at the 36-yard line.
Grady Ross, number 2, almost got in that zone near Barber where you're not allowed to get. You got to give him an opportunity to catch the ball, but it was a good no call.
Timeout on the field with 11:34 to go in the 3rd period. We are still tied 10-10 in Gainesville. Emmett.
I think that's someone who thinks that it's possible that Emmitt Smith might not be coming back to Florida to play next year. It's one of those unknown situations. Of course, the NFL has never taken underclassmen before, except last year the door was opened by Barry Sanders from Oklahoma State. So there is some thought that Emmitt might test the marketplace, and
it hasn't really been genuinely tested, though, because Sanders' team was put on probation, and that's the catch there. It would be interesting, though, if a player such as Emmitt Smith tried to go out early. Smith is bounced down at the 36. Again, Keith Carter makes the tackle. Smith may have lost a yard there.
Keith Carter's a character. He's fired up. He makes the tackle, takes a bow, runs back to the huddle, gives instructions, and makes a tackle again.
Darryl Perry, the senior fullback from Orlando, shaken up. Ernie Mills and Tony Lomack are split wide to the far side of the field. It is 2nd and 10. Douglas overthrows Kirkpatrick just beyond his outstretched arm at the 35-yard line of Florida State. Kirkpatrick has not caught a pass in this game. And the big tight end has been a favorite target of Florida quarterbacks throughout the season. He missed 3 games midway through the year, but has caught 17 and trails only Emmitt Smith in the pass-catching department. We told you that they're jammed in here, and there's the official count tonight. Over 75,000 at Florida Field, and the 2nd largest in school history. The draw play, Emmitt Smith ran into his own man in the backfield. Cedric Smith trying to throw a block for him, and Kirk Carruthers wreaked havoc with it. Florida State will have to, rather the Gators will have to punt it back to Florida State.
Well, 2 excellent efforts by both defenses. The Gators first shutting down the Noles, and now the Noles in succession shutting the Gators down with their first 2 series in the second half. 10 men at the line. They're coming after it.
Low line drive. Buckley watches it hit at the 34 and takes a Seminole bounce out of bounds at the 36.5-yard line. 10 minutes, 17 seconds left to play in the 3rd period. Florida State will have the football for the 2nd time here in the second half.
Look at the difference in the field position the Noles had here in the second half than what they had in the first half. The first half they started on their 20, inside their 20. Here they started on the 50, and now they're starting on their 36, 37-yard line.
Play action. Willis gets out of trouble once, but not twice. Huey Richardson and Pat Moore stop him behind the line for a loss of a yard at the 36.
Philip Johnson, their 64, also discouraged the freshman from Clinton, Mississippi. But he had a sack. There's Philip Johnson at the middle of your screen. There comes Huey Richardson. Here comes Philip on the loop. Huey went inside. Philip comes outside. Now Mark Murray's going to close. Peter Tom's in trouble. Huey gets up and still makes the tackle. Looks like they're going to give Huey credit for a sack there, David, and he breaks Alonzo Johnson's school record for one season.
They're going deep for Dawsey again. The Gators have 2 defenders there, and the pass is incomplete.
Will White got over an excellent position to help out Richard Fain. And there's a flag on the play, and looks like the Noles might be going backwards again.
This is not a real big, physically big Florida defensive line, but boy, is it quick. And they will result in a lot of holding penalties, especially late in the game when you might be getting a little bit tired after fighting the quickness of that Florida front line all evening long. And we've had several holding violations now against Florida State already here in the second half.
That time they were not only holding, they were holding the face mask again. That's twice that call's been made against the interior of the Florida State offensive line. And that quickness is paying a dividend for the Gator defensive linemen. They are not big. They've been outweighed against Auburn and Georgia and LSU and all the other teams that they lined up against. Typically, the offensive linemen are in the 260, 280-pound category. The Gator defensive linemen are more in the 240, 250-pound category, but boy, do they ever make up for it with that speed. Slashing, penetrating, getting up, got to knock them down time and time again, but they get up time and time again.
2nd and 26 from the 20. They set up the screen again. Edgar Bennett runs past B. Bartley this time to the 30, the 40, to the 50. Bennett bumped out of bounds by Richard Fain at the Florida 41-yard line.
B. Bartley misses a tackle on the play before, as we see some hot dogging going on by Mr. Bennett. B. Bartley missed the tackle before. Made the big tackle previously. On this screen, he misses the tackle. B. Bartley has responsibility for that play, and Bennett breaks the tackle. This kid's got 4.5 speed for a fullback. Gators are lucky they forced him out of bounds. Kerry Watkins hustling down to make the tackle.
And that gets the Seminoles out of a 2nd and 26 situation. Now they're first down at Florida's 41-yard line. On the draw play, Dexter Carter breaks one tackle in the backfield. Pat Moore smothers him at the 37. A gain of about 4 yards. Philip Johnson was also there to help out. There's the senior from Pensacola who walked onto this Florida football team. There are only 13 seniors on this Florida football team. 11 of those, by the way, will graduate by the end of next summer.
Jerry Odom had him, but the tailback slipped out of the tackle. Arm tackles don't bring down big, strong running backs, and Jerry just couldn't grab anything else right there.
Second down. Willis throws deep again. Kerry Watkins was there, though, and the ball is incomplete. Great coverage by Kerry Watkins. Or rather, was it? No, it was Watkins, number 4.
It was, and it was great coverage. Will White also over there to help out.
Anthony, the intended receiver.
And you know they got Anthony on their mind because of what he did in the first half on that one Seminole touchdown bomb. Kerry Watkins doing a nice job here, though. Step for step, he's waiting for the ball, waiting, and knocks it away. Anthony leaping, trying to come up with a circus catch.
Florida State keeps trying to throw deep. They had success on one occasion in the first half with a 62-yard bomb. And they keep going at it, but now they are third down and a long 5 from the Gator 37-yard line. Willis will throw again. This pass over the middle. The tight end Johnson has it. He is tripped up at the 22-yard line. And it is a Florida State first down.
Reggie Johnson, Will White has him man for man. He hangs on for dear life as Peter Tom Willis does what he does so well. Deliver the ball right in the chest of the tight end. There's a protection. The Gators send the inside linebackers. There's a big, strong tight end. Just had inside position on Will White. Comes up with a big first down catch.
Florida State threatens at the Florida 22-yard line. A short drop. Lassane has the football, and he takes it in for the touchdown. Much like last year's game in Tallahassee when Bruce Lassane dragged defenders with him into the end zone in that game, the big wide receiver does it again. He's 6'4", 210. Made a good catch. Does not have the blazing speed that some of his other teammates have at that wideout spot, but Lassane has some strength, and you saw it right there. Florida State takes the lead, 16-10.
Well, they think that Lassane might be the highest draft choice at the wide receiver position that the Seminoles would generate. Of that Fab 4, 3 are seniors, but Lassane, with his size, might possibly have a great pro career in front of him.
Richie Andrews adds the extra point. Florida State takes a touchdown lead with 8 minutes exactly to play in the third period. Bruce Lassane has his 8th touchdown, or rather his 6th touchdown of his career, his 3rd of the season. Florida State leads 17-10 with exactly 8 minutes to go in the third.
Compaq is the leader in performance and intelligent innovation.
Martin, we've got an hour tops. Make or break. Hey, it's made.
Compaq has gone the extra mile for today's power-hungry users.
10 minutes to spare. Once again, Martin comes through with a powerful performance.
For a truly user-friendly computer store, turn to DeBonis Associates Computer Center.
The best of the West burns on. He's the playboy of the Ponderosa.
Why don't you kiss me? I love you.
Please don't leave me, little Joe.
He has the knack of making women want to love him.
Looks like you handled that real nice, Joe.
And a way of making men want to deck him.
Joe, I'm gonna tear you limb from limb.
But he's everyone's little Joe.
What's the matter with me, anyway?
Got a couple hours, I'll tell you.
The legend lives on. Bonanza.
Weeknights at 6 on Wake Television.
When Peter Tom Willis has time to throw the football, he is very, very dangerous. We've been talking about that all evening long, and here you see what he can do when he gets protection.
That's a timing route. He just gets it over Jerry Odom's arm. Hussein breaking towards the post. Look, 5-yard line, he gets hit. Just powers into the end zone. 6'4", 210, a brilliant wide receiver for the Seminoles, but it was Peter Tom Willis who delivers the ball right in the chest time after time. A missed tackle on a screen pass earlier in that drive kept that drive alive for the Seminoles. Then a couple of big third down plays by quarterback Peter Tom Willis, and finally culminating in a touchdown pass to Hussein.
Willis completed 3 out of 4 on that drive for 75 yards. And the impressive thing about that play by Hussein, that was not some backup defensive back out of Prairie View A&P that he dragged into the end zone. It was Richard Fain, who a lot of people think is a potential All-American at Florida coming up next year in his senior season. Stacy Simmons gets the kick, fakes the handoff on the reverse, and has some room on the left side. Simmons has good speed, but not enough to turn the corner, and he goes out of bounds at the 25-yard line. Here comes freshman quarterback Donald Douglas, and the Florida Gator offense with 7:53 left to play in the third period now find themselves trailing Florida State 17-10. Plenty of time left. Florida State has just grabbed hold of the momentum as well as the lead in this ball game. And Douglas now tries to get the Gators restarted. Emmitt Smith, a nice step to the outside after everything closed up inside for him, and Emmitt gets 4 yards out to the 29-yard line.
Giving the ball deep to Emmitt as you can out of that I formation so he can make those kind of moves. Saw a little bit of opening to his right, danced to his right for about 3, maybe 4 yards.
Second down from the 29. Smith again. Big hole right side. Across the 40, and then 5 Florida State players tackle him at the 45-yard line. That's good for a first down, and Emmitt Smith has just gone over 100 yards for the 9th time this season, and that sets his own school record for most 100-plus yard games in a year.
Well, what's so impressive about this is you look at it after Emmitt breaks the line of scrimmage, gaping hole, and then the fullback on the lead, but watch, it's going to be 7 or 8 Seminoles. He's going to hit him before he goes down. There's 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. He's still not down, and they got a face mask. They can't get him down under normal circumstances, so they had to resort to grabbing his face mask. Unbelievable the power he has.
Let's take a look at how Florida State put those points on the board most recently. An impressive drive. Again, Willis pinpoint passing the key. First down from the 50.
Same play.
To Smith again.
Same play.
Emmitt bounces off a tackler. Down to the 41-yard line. Leon Fowler hit him. That gain for Emmitt Smith, good for about 8 more. And he continues to put up those impressive numbers Week after week after week. Only twice this season has Emmitt Smith not gone over 100 yards rushing.
Well, the Seminoles dominate the game via the airways, and the Gators dominate the running game. So what's new, right?
Willie McClendon, the new tailback. McClendon running it inside the tackle, and he finds about 6 or 7 yards. Down to the Florida State 33-yard line. It is another Florida first down.
Well, that's mano y mano right there. That's rock'em sock'em in-your-face football. Fullback lead. There comes the big guard, Mark White, looping around behind the center. Darrell Perry taking out 2 Seminoles right there. Keith Carter doesn't take a bow there. He's down on a knee.
McClendon in relief of Emmitt Smith. Long count by Douglas with 2 seconds on the clock. He just gets the snap in time, and McClendon fights his way to the 25-yard line. 8 more yards for the Gator tailback.
Sometimes, David, an offense will have what they call a check with me, and they'll not know what exactly the play is going to be run until they get to the line of scrimmage. And Donald Douglas, even though he's a freshman, you know, the young man was a Honor Society member in high school. He's very intelligent. I think they're getting up there at the line and deciding what to do at the last minute. And that time it was a pitch left, and look at McClendon powering towards another first down. Well, excuse me, it's second short this time.
This time they give it to the fullback. And there's not much room at all across the 25 to about the 24. It'll be about a yard short of the marker as Cedric Smith gets his first carry of the night. Henry Ostazuski made the tackle, and Kirk Carruthers, the linebacker, also in on the play. It's third and a long yard from just inside the 25-yard line at Florida State territory. 4:25 left in the third period.
Got to get that first down right here to continue this effort to get some more points on the board.
A straight I formation with Cedric and Emmitt Smith. And Emmitt Smith gets the first down to the 22-yard line of Florida State. Florida's offensive line suddenly is pushing Florida State back 4 and 5 yards per play. Let's check with Steve Babick again down on the field.
You know, Willie McClendon was in this offensive series because Emmitt Smith re-injured that right foot, that same foot that he hurt against Kentucky. So he's back in the game. He's okay, but they retaped it up. So that was something they were concerned about, that right foot.
Emmitt Smith still in at tailback now, despite the slight foot injury. First down at the 22-yard line. Darrell Perry is now the fullback. Barber and Lomack, the wide receivers. Again, Douglas checks off, and they took too much time.
He just forgot where he was with the 24-second clock. Is it 24 seconds?
25.
25. 24's NBA?
It's the NBA.
Excuse me. You would know that.
I know a lot about that.
25-second clock. He just got lost for a second. And there's the penalty.
5 yards, marks it back to the 27. Cedric Smith brings the play in from the Gators sideline. Gators have now been penalized 10 times for 109 yards. But if that sounds bad, Florida State's been hit 11 times for 128. Douglas, a short drop. He pump fakes and wants to go deep, but Florida State has it well covered, and they pick it off. The pass is intercepted by Errol McCorvey. McCorvey did not bite on the fake at all. He stayed back off of Lomack a good 10 yards, even when Lomack curled in. And Douglas pump faked it at him. It's Florida State's ball. They stopped the drive, but they've got it inside the 1. Let's take another look.
Now, young quarterback Douglas just doesn't have the touch, and here he puts too much on it. McCorvey looks like the receiver in that situation. Lomack had no chance at all at that football, but the Noles are backed up on their 1-inch line, it looks like.
That's McCorvey's second interception of the season. There's a timeout. 3:11 left in the third. Our score, the Seminoles 17, the Gators 10. We'll be back in a moment.
The best idea for holiday giving this year comes from your holiday headquarters, Century 2001. The perfect holiday business gift for employees, customers, and friends is the custom-made gift wrap ensemble, and it comes in a variety of sizes. Each ensemble includes paper, bows, ribbons, and gift tags, and comes complete with a corrugated mailer ready for shipping. Century 2001 has thousands of gifts and promotional items, and many can be imprinted with your company name or logo. Let Century 2001 do your holiday shopping for you.
The best of the West burns on. He's a man who needs no introduction.
What about that horse?
Not horse. Hoss. H-O-S-S. He's the big brother.
He's a giant of a man.
With an even larger heart.
He's just doing it for your own good.
He'll bring a smile to your lips and a tear to your eye.
Hoss is different from any man I've ever known.
The legend lives on.
Don't forget our friend Hoss.
With America's favorite, Bonanza.
Weeknights at 6 on Wake Television.
WAYK, Wake Television, Central Florida's only locally owned and operated station.
Tim Paulk in the game for Gerald Odom at inside linebacker. Ball's on the 1-inch line, and boy, if the Seminoles get out of this hole, they'll be very happy.
Well, the interception was good in a sense for Bobby Bowden's team, but they've got themselves in a real tough spot right now offensively with their backs to the wall in that north end zone. And Willis just keeps it and sneaks it and tries to get a little breathing room out to about the 2 or 3, it looks like.
That was a good play. They went on 2, but he gave a little inflection to that first hut. Bent his head a little bit there, tried to draw the Gator defense off sides. They didn't bite, but he picked up a couple of yards there on that quarterback.
Close to 3. The nose of the football was right up against the line in the end zone. Florida's defense has been so effective. Really in need of a stand right here to get the ball back in good field position. This is the fullback, Bennett, and he is stacked up at the 4.5-yard line. Pat Moore got there first, and then Richardson and company came to help out.
Seminoles, David, very conservatively lining up with only one wide receiver there, trying to ram the ball out on the Gators, but weren't able to open up a hole right there. The Gators answering the challenge. But let's see if the Noles come out and loosen things up on this 3rd down play.
They need 5.5.
No, they still only have one wide receiver, but the tight end is split.
And we have a whistle, and Florida State almost had that 25-second clock down to nothing. They called timeout with about 3 on the clock. They were not going to get the play off, and rather than take the penalty, the Seminoles have taken a timeout.
Well, they had 2 tight ends. Reggie Johnson was in the game, but then he split out into the slot, but it didn't look like he was supposed to be there, and Peter Tom Willis was trying to get his attention, but then decided just, hey, I'll call a timeout and talk to coach.
What an interesting series this has become here in recent years. The Florida State Seminoles had a string of 4 straight victories in the early 80s. Then the Florida Gators won 6 in a row. Florida State has won the last 2, so after a dozen seasons in year number 13, they're trying to decide who's had the better football team in that period of time. Florida State, they've each won 6. 1:51 left in the 3rd period. And Florida State holding a 17-10 lead over the Florida Gators. Peter Tom Willis, all he's done tonight is complete 12 of 19 passes for 212 yards and 2 touchdowns. Florida State with a big 3rd down conversion. The Gators digging in as Willis, a short drop, throws it upfield, and there is a penalty flag, and Bartley's going to be called for a pass interference on Terry Anthony. There was some bumping as Anthony came up off the line of scrimmage. Bartley tried to force Anthony to the outside and did so, but may have used contact that was inappropriate. We'd have to see it again to be sure, but The penalty flag was thrown immediately, and that'll give Florida State a first down.
Well, the null receiver was going to try and break out and then up the sideline, and is on his move up the sideline is where they called the holding.
That's first down number 15. Now let's see if we can spot the penalty. I think by now the contact is over with. Well, that gets the Seminoles out of a jam. They're first down at the 15-yard line. Play action. Willis finds Carter at the 20, and Carter is sandwiched out of bounds at the 29-yard line. Jerry Odom and Fee Bartley scissor the Florida State tailback, but that's good for another Seminole first down. They continue to dig their way out of a hole.
Now, what's so impressive about the Seminole offense is that Peter Tom Willis doesn't make a mistake. He finds the guy that's open, then he delivers the ball. He says there's nothing to this, but look at that hit. Jerry Odom chasing Carter out of the backfield.
Carter has taken some shots tonight, hasn't he?
Now, tailbacks live a difficult life on Saturday afternoon or Saturday evening.
Bennett slips one tackler in the backfield and somehow manages 2 or 3 yards across the 30 to the 31. Strong, hard running by the sophomore fullback. Philip Johnson finally brought him down, but not before Bennett picked up 2 yards on the carry.
Big, strong fullback just steps aside as Jerry Odom is blitzing in, and Culpepper fighting off the block there. There's Mark Murray on the hit. Bennett did a nice job making something out of nothing there.
Time winding down in the third period. 44 seconds left. Florida State with a touchdown lead in the football at their own 31-yard line. Second down. Willis dumps it incomplete. Where is the receiver?
Well, he got hit, David. He was trying to go down the field, but Philip Johnson and Brad Culpepper hit him, and that's how the ball got deflected. There was no one near the ball, but he was trying to deliver it down the field, but he got popped.
Let's take another look. I thought he dumped it.
Oh, he got hit in the back by his own man.
You're right. His own man got blocked into it.
I think it's the guard. Stabbed in the back.
Another big third down play from the 31. They need 9, and Willis gets them. Dexter Carter makes the catch. Pat Moore makes the tackle. First down, Florida State at the 42-yard line.
This guy's like a surgeon, isn't he? P.T. Willis, he just knows where to go. He's made a decision right here. He needs the first down. He's going to hit Carter, and it's right on the money.
Once again, the Gators unable to put pressure on the quarterback, and
that's a tired defense right now, I think.
When you've got a quarterback that can pick you apart like that, there has got to be some pressure.
Oh, that's disheartening. You know, he never makes a mistake.
They go the running game again. There's a fumble. Bennett drops it. It is recovered by the Florida Gators. Godfrey Miles at the 31-yard line. Brad Culpepper forced the fumble as he hit Bennett in the backfield, and then Godfrey Miles pounced on it at the 30.
Nose guard Brad Culpepper, who grew up in Tallahassee, Florida, on the draw. Big, strong Bennett. Ball's knocked out by Culpepper. Here comes Godfrey Miles, Mark Murray. 3 Gators after that football. Gigantic break for the University of Florida here.
And that's the way the third quarter will end from Gainesville, with the Gators taking the football but trailing by a touchdown as we go to period number 4.
If your cable company doesn't offer you Sportschannel Florida, they're denying you Florida's most comprehensive sports network.
They're trying to call timeout, but Donald Douglas, quarterback keeper, fights his way into the end zone. That was all Donald Douglas, and the freshman scores for the Gators.
Sportschannel Florida has your ticket for complete coverage of the Florida Gators, Miami Hurricanes, USF Bulls, Jacksonville University Dolphins, and exclusive coverage of the National Hockey League.
Buffalo zone, there's the pass to Messier going right in and goes. Messier!
If your cable company hasn't added Sports Channel yet, call them today and let them know that you don't want to miss out on any more of the action from your favorite teams. Sports Channel is your home for the Gators, Canes, NHL, Dolphins, Bulls, and much more. Call your cable company today.
Tuesday, Sports Channel dazzles you with the latest in thoroughbred action nationwide on Inside Racing. Join Harvey Pack for the weekend review, plus helpful hints on what's ahead. Inside Racing, 6:30 Eastern, 3:30 Pacific, exclusively on Sports Channel, Tuesdays. Sports Channel is the authority on thoroughbred horse racing. Wednesday through Monday, Thoroughbred Action presents exclusive coverage from the major New York State tracks. Chart all the races here first on Thoroughbred Action, 6:30 Eastern, 3:30 Pacific, only on Sports Channel.
We go to the fourth period from Florida Field, and there is a new quarterback who will be guiding this Gator offense for the final 15 minutes. It's Lex Smith, the backup out of Dade City, the redshirt freshman, in relief of Donald Douglas, who completed 4 of 12 passes in the game for 54 yards. And the Gators are going with the drop-back abilities of Lex Smith and see if he can't pull one out for him against the arch rival from Tallahassee. Trailing by only a touchdown, the Gators have just recovered a Florida State fumble at the Seminole 30-yard line, a rare Florida State mistake. They have fumbled twice in this game. The Gators could not capitalize on the first Florida State fumble as they threw a pass interception. But right here, it's Florida's opportunity to make something good happen with the ball at the 30. Let's take another look at the fumble.
Brad Culpepper just knocks the ball loose from Bennett right there. Culpepper again, growing up in Tallahassee, a big game for him to play the Knolls. And there's Godfrey Miles falling on the football. Gigantic turnover, and the Gators making a change, as you mentioned, at quarterback. Lex Smith played well throwing the football when he's been in for the few brief appearances he's had. He's got one quarter here, the biggest opportunity of his life to make something happen.
He'll have Simmons wide to the right side. Ernie Mills wide to the left side. Cedric Smith and Emmett Smith in the I formation. Fourth quarter begins. Lex Smith at the controls. He hands off to Emmett. And Emmett spins but can't quite break away at the 25-yard line from Keith Carter. Boy, if he had gotten away from the grasp of Carter, it would have been 6 points.
Yeah, big Keith Carter, 6'3", 231's made a lot of tackles for the Seminoles on the field this evening, and here he just barely hangs on to Emmett. Emmett's going to make him 360 after he gets hit. He's going to spin. He's trying to fight loose, but he just gets knocked down.
So close. But a 6-yard carry, and Emmett Smith is now up at 129 yards on the evening. 2nd and 4 from the 24 of Florida State. Smith, a nice cut back to the inside, gets the first down at the 19-yard line of Florida State.
David Harvey Thomas in at tight end, giving Kirkpatrick a break. Number 83, Harvey Thomas throwing a nice block there.
James Chaney made the tackle for the Seminoles, the backup nose guard, giving Odell Hagens a rest.
There's the pitch. There's your fullback. There's Bromley trying to pull around. Again, one man on the tackle. It was Chaney, who backs up All-American Odell Hagens.
The Gators are inside the 20. And a handoff again on a trap to Emmett Smith, and he fights his way for 3 yards to the 17-yard line.
What's Emmett carry the ball now? 24 25 times. You know, he's tired, but he loves it. He's got that resilience and that balance, but they're going to have to shake things up a little bit, as you mentioned, give the Seminoles something else to think about other than just handing the ball off to Emmett. And maybe Lex Smith can make it happen via the airways.
Gators have had the ball inside an opponent 20-yard line 32 different times this year, and they've scored on 30 of those 32 opportunities. Emmett Smith, great cut back to the inside, but is stacked up at the 15. A gain of about 2 more.
Emmett's discouraged. He thought he had more out of that than he's going to get. Harvey Ostaszewski overruns the play right there.
This drive has been concentrated solely on the talents of Emmitt Smith. He's carried the ball on all 4 plays.
Well, third down now, third and a healthy 7, or maybe 8 yards. Lex Smith, 8 seconds on the clock to get the snap off. 3.
Here they come with a strong rush. Lex Smith throws the ball out of bounds. It'll be 4th down and 7.
Good coverage by the Seminole secondary.
And they had a blitz on from the inside, too. John David Francis is going to be called in to try and cut the lead back to 4.
Well, you need more than 1 touchdown to win this game anyway, right? Unless you went for 2. So, hey, take the field goal. Be happy about it. Get whatever you can. A lot of time left in this ball game.
Francis has kicked one from 46 yards out tonight. This one will be a 33-yard attempt from the right hash. He missed it. The kick is wide to the right. And that really hurts. The Gators had recovered the fumble at the 30-yard line of Florida State and come away with no points. Still 12:20 left in the ball game, but that really deflates this crowd here at Florida Field as the Gators come away empty-handed, trailing 17-10 with 12:20 left. Florida State has dodged one huge bullet, a cannonball.
It was.
They fumbled it at the 30-yard line and walked away without a scratch.
It was a cannonball. Did they ever survive that threat by the Gators? But still plenty of time to go. Pressure again on the Gator defense.
Florida State's offense has scored the only touchdown of the second half, primarily behind the arm of Peter Tom Willis, who has completed 14 of 22 passes tonight for 238 yards, 2 touchdowns, and 1 interception. They run it to Dexter Carter. Carter turns the corner on the outside and finally goes out of bounds at the 35-yard line, a 15-yard carry. Florida State's offense seems to be taking control just a little bit here in this latter part of the third period or early in the fourth.
They did a nice job cutting down the inside linebackers there, and once Carter got outside, there wasn't any pursuit.
Florida State 17, Florida 10. Early moments of the fourth period.
Brad Culpepper at nose guard's going to get sealed off. There's the block of the inside linebacker right there. Godfrey Miles diving, then Kerry Watkins gets juked.
We're back live now, and Carter again is in the Gators secondary. Will White runs him down from behind at the 49-yard line. Another 14-yard gain, and a penalty flag goes in on top of the play. It's going to go against the Florida Gators. Well, you could just feel when that field goal did not go through the uprights that the wind was knocked out of the sails of this crowd here, predominant Florida Gator crowd. And Florida State has come out running the football and getting big chunks of yardage as Dexter Carter has now carried for 71 yards in the game. Back-to-back carries of 15 and 13 yards, tack on the penalty. And the Seminoles have the football at the 46-yard line of the Gators. Ronald Lewis in motion. Pitch to Carter again, and this time he's hit in the hole by the Gator inside linebackers. Pat Moore and Philip Johnson, Huey Richardson, all were in there. Here's Johnson, the redshirt freshman from Clinton, Mississippi.
This Carter's a resilient young man, only 180 pounds or so.
He can take a lick. He has proven that tonight. He's proven that through his career at Florida State. He's taken a lot of blows.
That's the guy that's made the difference, so right there. Peter Tom Willis.
Play action. And they set it up nicely and throw it to Carter. He slips past Bartley and has another large chunk of yardage to the 25-yard line of the Gators. Florida's defense, which has fought so valiantly throughout this game, seems to be getting just a bit on the weary side here in the fourth period.
Well, P.T. Willis hits the right man again, and this time another broken tackle. B. Bartley having trouble coming up with the tackles here in the second half, and finally Carter forced out of bounds. But you got a combination of a great quarterback hitting the right man and then a missed tackle.
Florida State's third first down of this possession. They have come marching up the field to the Florida 25. And Willis goes for all of it here to Lassane in the end zone. He drops it.
Bain got knocked off balance. Lassane had it in his hands and then looked almost like he threw it away. Bain thought he had position, but Lassane is 6'4". He's 210. He's going to send Bain sprawling. Oh, he just can't come up with it.
Lassane's had a big night already, one touchdown catch. Lassane has been driving Bain insane for much of the evening. The ball is at the 25. It is 2nd and 10. Willis throws again. This time Lassane makes the catch for a gain of 4 to the 21-yard line. Bain again on the coverage.
Peter Tom Willis got the ball off under tremendous pressure there. When he doesn't have pressure, he's like a surgeon. When he does have pressure, he simply dumps it out quickly. He's just terrific. Watch this. He's going to get some heat right here. He's going to feel the heat, but he's going to unload the ball right on the money. A little bit of a wobble, but right on the money.
It makes you wonder a little bit why Willis didn't get more recognition in the Heisman Trophy balloting. His team is highly ranked. He's posted tremendous numbers. I guess Andre Ware has just had such an unbelievable year that another quarterback couldn't get in the picture. Dexter Carter looking for the first down marker and just does get it inside the 15 at the 14-yard line.
Huey Richardson got trapped inside there, the outside man. Dexter Carter took a dip off tackle, then bounces out. Watch Huey Richardson at the top of your screen. He's going to get pinned in just right there. He thinks he's going inside, and that one little step, and then Carter uses speed to get outside. Carter set Huey up perfectly on that. When he dipped to the inside, Huey reacted, then he dipped back out.
Another record by the boards. Peter Tom Willis passes Gary Huff again. Florida State now at the Gator 14. Bennett is stacked up this time. Richardson and Murray make the tackle behind the line of scrimmage. That's a loss of a yard. It was Richardson and 64. Philip Johnson on the play. Florida trailing by a touchdown, and Florida State using up the clock in the fourth quarter with that 17-10 lead. The junior from Atlanta, Georgia, Huey Richardson, has had a great season. And that young man is going to be playing a lot of football in the future. 2nd down and 11 from the 16. Florida comes with a blitz again. They isolate the receiver Carter out of the backfield. He makes the catch and gets a couple of yards to the 10-yard line.
Boy, he's so elusive. Fee Bartley almost grabbed air right there. Carter has such a low center of gravity. Peter Tom gets the ball out to him. Watch him dip. Fee Bartley's just missing tackle after tackle, but part of the reason is because this little guy's so elusive. But look at Peter Tom. Again, just dipping the ball out. You know?
Bartley made that one huge hit on Dexter Carter, and it's almost as if he's been trying to continue to make those types of blows ever since. 3rd down and 5. Willis has lots of time. And he's got his receiver near the end zone. The ball popped out of there, but they call it a touchdown. It's the tight end, Dave Roberts, who apparently held on and crossed the goal line before he lost it. That gives the Seminoles a 2-touchdown advantage with only 8 minutes and 5 seconds left in the game. That's Robert's second touchdown reception of the year.
Well, you got man-for-man coverage. Poor Will White's hanging on for his life. He breaks the plane, then the ball hits the turf and bounces up.
Roberts reaching out, guiding that football across the goal line. And the extra point makes it a 24-10 Florida State lead with 8 minutes and 5 seconds left to play in the fourth period. The Seminoles have scored 2 touchdowns here in the second half. And Peter Tom Willis has now thrown 3 touchdown passes in this ball game. We'll take a break and come right back to Florida Field in Gainesville, where it's the Seminoles by 2 touchdowns. Willis picking apart the Florida Gator defense, who's hit them twice for touchdown passes here in the second half. And the Seminoles have taken a 24-10 lead. The kick is dumped upfield, and Lomack fields it at the 15. He breaks one tackle, but he will get away from the next, as Chris Hall makes the stop for Florida State. And the Gators will put the ball in play at the 13-yard line. Lomack made one brilliant return tonight, and it was called back because of a penalty. Now the Gators backed up in their own end of the field with 7:58 left in the game and trailing by 2 touchdowns. Florida State has just worn the Florida defense down here in the second half. Quarterback Lex Smith. Pass complete to Ernie Mills at the 27-yard line. He caught it, then stepped out of bounds for the first down.
Only need 1 foot in bounds in college football, and Lex Smith throwing on first down, which I think the Gators have to do, but certainly trailing 14 points here in the fourth quarter. One foot in bounds, and first down for the Gators.
A 13-yard connection. And it's first down from the 26-yard line. Smith firing it long for Simmons, who is there and cannot make the catch.
No. Oh, he was there. He just had to hold up on the ball a little bit and then dropped it. He was wide open, streaking down the sideline. Lex Smith throws the ball so he can run under it, but he just had to come back for it a little bit.
Second and 10.
Just his hip. Hit him on the hip. Knocked the ball away.
He'd gotten a little bit off balance and trying to set himself up to catch it. Gators still from their own 26. 7:44 left. Trailing by 2 touchdowns. Smith looks for Lomack and overthrows him on a post up the middle.
Oh, was he there? Oh, jeez. Oh, he was wide open. How many times have we seen Peter Tom Willis overthrow anybody? None. I don't think, have we? He's been so precise. The difference is right here. They get him open and hit him. The Gators get him open and miss him.
The experience paying dividends for the Seminoles in this one, especially at the quarterback position, but really all around the field. Florida State, a very much more experienced football team than the Gators, and it's beginning to show up here in the second half. Pass to Mills. Mills makes the catch and has good yardage again inside the 50 to the 49-yard line of Florida State. That's another Gator first down, a big third down conversion. Keeps that hope glimmering with 7:29 left in the ball game.
And stops the clock. Stepped out of bounds, and it's a first down. On the sprint out, Lex Smith sprinting right towards Ernie Mills. Ernie on a hook. He did what he had to do to pick up the first down. Now he says, hey, I got more room out here. I'm going to move up to the 50-yard line. Let's go down to Steve Babbitt on the sideline.
Thanks, Jim. You know, the one thing the Gators have to do is get back the momentum because they lost it when they went down before and came away with no points. They need some big plays to get the momentum back right now.
And they got one right there to Terrence Barber to the 25-yard line of Florida State. Well, Lex Smith drilled that one right on the numbers.
Well, when you get guys open, you got to deliver the ball. And again, that's what the Noles have been able to do. And now Lex Smith's coming out and having some success.
Back down on the field to Steve.
You know, the level of enthusiasm, or I should say just intensity on both sides, was at a certain pitch. But when they missed the field goal, Florida did, you could see it go down a bit. And the defense needed something to pick them up. Hopefully the offense can go out there with Lex Smith and come up with a big play, get the enthusiasm and the intensity back up.
From the 25-yard line.
Maybe so.
Here comes a blitz. Here comes Emmitt Smith. Oh, he almost cracked through the hole, but Kevin Grant hit him. Leon Fowler was there at about the 20-yard line. Emmitt gets 5 yards.
Yeah, he was gone, David. Kevin Grant did make the play. One guy is going to hit him. He's going to knock. Leon Fowler it was. Leon Fowler on the hit.
Gain of 5 yards for Emmitt Smith.
6:29 left in this ball game.
The blitz again. Lex Smith rolling out, delivers it again. It is caught this time by the tight end Kirkpatrick. Short of a first down at the 17.5 for the 18-yard line. About 2 or 3 yards shy of the marker.
John White, number 44, the strong safety, 6'2", 198 in on the tackle. Number 44. Lex Smith showing a lot of poise right here. Emmitt Smith blocking for him. Darrell Perry, the fullback, blocking. There's Kirkpatrick, the tight end with good hands. Florida's got some talented kids at wide receiver and tight end. They just haven't been able to get the ball to them consistently.
5:45 left. Short side pitch to Emmitt Smith. Gets the first down at the 13-yard line of Florida State.
5:38, 5:37 on the clock. Still plenty of time if the Gators can get a touchdown. Give that Gator defense some enthusiasm. Who's to say they might come out and slow that vaunted Seminole offense down, get the ball back again. But the Gators obviously needing 2 touchdowns with any hope of tying this ball game.
They've got time, but they must score on this possession. 5.5 minutes, clock ticking. The Gators still have all 3 of their timeouts remaining, should they need them down the stretch. Barber is wide left. Lomack in the slot to the left side. Smith looking to throw. He'll keep the football to the 10. Lex Smith, a la Donald Douglas, to the 5-yard line of Florida State. It is not a first down, but it is a gain of 9 yards, and the Gators are knocking on the Seminole door.
Well, Lex Smith says, hey, if you're going to give me the corner, I'll take it. Right now, instead of throwing the ball away, he gives a little pump fake. And then he delivers a blow, too, doesn't he?
His receivers were blanketed in the end zone, and he did the smart thing and got big yardage. They spot it at the 6. 2nd and 2. The pitch low, but Emmitt Smith fields it and then drives for the first down, I believe. Inside the 3 at about the 2-yard line.
4:29, 4:28. The clock continues to tick. The Gators have to get in and out of the huddle quickly. They're tired. They're behind, but they got to do it.
Howard Dinkins made the tackle. Here come the Seminoles back with the goal line defense. Darrell Perry checks into the Gator backfield, and I think we'll see a power I formation with 2 tight ends and 3 backs. Emmitt Smith, the deep back. It is first down and goal. Emmitt Smith hurdles over the top. Touchdown, Florida. Touchdown number 14 of the year for Emmitt Smith, and he just tied Buford Long for most touchdowns in a single season, set back in 1952.
David,
but more importantly, it cuts the lead to a touchdown, and the Gators still have a chance here tonight.
And that drive started inside the Gator 20-yard line.
At the 13.
That's what's so impressive about this drive. So, hey, it's not over, right?
The way Lex Smith is building confidence and moving the offense, they just need a defensive stop here, and who knows what might happen. Francis's extra point is good, and that cuts the lead to 7. 4 minutes, 8 seconds left. in the fourth quarter. Florida State now only a 7-point lead, 24-17. We'll be right back from Florida Field in Gainesville.
Smith about to leap. He gets airborne. Once you're airborne that close to the line of scrimmage, it's hard to deny you, especially when you're talented like an Emmitt Smith is. But nice blocking by Phil Bromley right there as well. But hey, the Gators are back in this thing.
They've got all 3 timeouts left. There are 4 minutes and 8 seconds left on the clock. Florida State will be looking for a ball control drive here, a possession drive to run that clock down and all the way out if they possibly can. And the Gators will look for 3 downs and a punt. And that's what it comes down to here on a cool December evening in Gainesville, Florida. And there's the guy who has been largely responsible for the Gators still being in this ball game. He's up close to 150 yards for the game. And you must give a lot of credit to Lex Smith, who came in to start the fourth period and just took his Florida Gator offense 87 yards for a touchdown. There are your deep men for Florida State. Dawsey and Carter. It will be Dexter Carter back in the end zone, and they'll bring it out to the 20. The wind-aided kick by John David Francis sends it deep into the end zone. So the Gators, with the wind at their backs, will be trying to shut down this Florida State attack. 4:08 left in the ball game. The stadium has been one constant buzz from the opening kick.
And the Gator jaws. The fans are on their feet, hoping that defense can clamp down on this vaunted Seminole offense. And if there was ever a time to do it, now's the time.
Willis has had another amazing evening. He's got time, and he throws, and the pass caught by Anthony for a gain of about 8.
Well, they didn't exactly go in the closet, did they?
Nope. You didn't expect them to, did you?
Not a Bobby Bowden team. That's impressive, isn't it? They say, hey, we're going to take the wind out of your sails right here. We're going to throw the ball right at you.
Talk about impressive. How about that Gator drive with Emmitt Smith carrying it the final 2 yards? But Lex Smith on that drive was 4 of 6 for 55 yards passing. Second down and 2 from the 28-yard line. 3:29, clock ticking. Florida State leading by a touchdown. Gators come with a blitz. They can't hit Carter in the backfield, and that's going to cost them. First down for the Seminoles. They came right up the middle with the blitz. And somehow Dexter Carter got inside for first down yardage. Let's see how Gator linebacker Jerry Odom missed him here.
Well, he's just stepping over his own man. Pat Moore reaching out with trying to make the block. Finally, Huey Richardson from behind. Godfrey Miles.
We're now at the 3-minute mark in the ball game. The Gators, remember, still have all their timeouts left, but must stop Florida State. Blitz again. This time there is nowhere to go for Florida State. Got a yard or two up across the 40 to the 41-yard line on the fullback carry.
And the Gator starting defensive linemen are on the sideline getting a bit of a blow right here. But Bill Gunner, number 93, is in the ball game at one defensive end position.
Tony Rowell is playing one tackle spot.
And we got a different nose guard as well as Brad Culpepper takes a break.
It's Dexter Smith, the redshirt freshman out of Wichita, Kansas. Second down and 8 from the 41. Willis again has time. Looks for the tight end Johnson. Stops the clock as the pass is incomplete. That's the chance that they take when they throw the football with the 7-point lead late. They stop the clock on the incompletion.
But when the Seminoles throw the ball, it's not that big of a chance because of this guy right here. He's just been so fantastic. But in that case, Will White and Richard Fain had covered Johnson, the tight end, and he just threw it away. But to the Gators' advantage, it did stop the clock.
Now Florida State is in a position where 3rd down and 8. They're in an obvious passing situation. If they don't complete it, however, they'll give the Gators a full 2 minutes if they don't get the first down.
Big if. Let's see what happens.
Wide open is Anthony. Will White makes the tackle, but not before Anthony is all the way down to the 24-yard line of the Gators, and that might be the one that does it.
I tell you, it's hard to drop a ball when it hits you right in the top of the middle of the 8, you know? Good gracious. Look at Anthony move down the field. These guys are just so good. You know, you got to tip your hat to Peter Tom Willis. He is just so good.
That Gator defensive line, that front line, the starting unit is back on the field after getting a breather, but there's only 1:39 left. And that clock continues to run. Carter carries it for a couple of yards to the 22-yard line. Clock running, 1:29. And now the Gators stop the clock. But Florida State has moved it into field goal range. They are facing a pretty stiff breeze now. The game did not start out that way with that wind coming out of the north at a brisk pace, but as the evening has progressed, the wind has picked up. But Florida State moving ever closer to its 9th consecutive victory. Both teams now have 2 timeouts left. With 1:29 left, and there's Gary Darnell and Jerry Odom and Pat Moore. A Florida football team that has fought every second of the ball game tonight.
Yeah, I was going to ask you, has this game been hard fought or not?
We had the flurry of penalties early on because the two teams were overly emotional, perhaps. But Bobby Bowden and his football team have hung in there. They were tied 10-10 at the end of the half. And he just put the ball in the hands of number 4 right there. And number 4 made a lot of good things happen, as he has done week after week in his senior season.
Hard to believe that kid sat on the bench for 4 years.
How do you think he must feel? But the thing is, it's not been like Florida State has had guys who can't play out there. Chip Ferguson was not chopped liver either.
I guess not.
You know, the one game that Willis played last year against South Carolina, he just lit up the scoreboard. The one start he got.
17 of 20 in that game.
Tonight he's 20 out of 30 for 319 yards. Another impressive performance by Peter Tom Willis.
And his wide receivers, too. There's Terry Anthony. Look at that. 4 receptions. He's been the star of the Fab 4 wide receivers tonight. Well, all those kids have been outstanding. Lassane, Anthony.
All right, back to action. 2nd down and 7. The pitch is to Carter, sweeping right side. He breaks a tackle and is tripped up by White inside the 20 at the 18. Florida immediately calls for another timeout, stopping the clock with 1:22. The 3rd down conversion that Willis completed to Anthony was really the crush for the Florida Gators.
Well, a field goal will seal it here as well. You know, 7-point lead. Field goal will make it a 10-point lead. Seminoles in great position here to lock up this victory.
1:22 left. Carter getting close to the 100-yard mark for the season. He has carried 21 times rather for 97 yards. Emmitt Smith is up over 100 yards for the 9th time this season for the Florida Gators. And we've got 1:22 left. The Gators have 1 timeout remaining. And just a glimmer of hope remained for the Florida Gator football team, trying to snap a 2-game Florida State winning streak. against a team that a lot of folks think is the best football team in college football. 3rd down and 3. If there is any chance at all, it's got to happen right here. And Willis is throwing it. It is caught by Darcy.
Gracious, unbelievable.
Richard Fain shaking his head. He can't believe it. He was there. He was in position to make the interception, and Dawsey made a great grab. You just got to tip your hat right here.
Well, I thought for a moment that pass might be picked off. I thought, what an incredible circumstance to pick it off and run back for a touchdown. But
hey, there's new life, Jim, because there's a penalty flag, illegal motion against Florida State. Were you a little bit surprised that they threw the football on that play?
Especially on that route, because that ball could have been picked off on the inside. I really thought there was a chance there.
5-yard penalty will mark it back across the 20 to the 24-yard line. Remember, there is that brisk wind coming out of the north that Florida State would be kicking that field goal into if they don't get the first down here, and it's 3rd and 9. They converted their last 3rd down, 3rd and 8 back from their own territory, and that was the big play up till right now. If they convert this one, it's all over, or all but over. Willis throwing, deflected away at the last second. A beautiful play, almost an interception there by Richard Fain.
No, that was
rather Godfrey Miles.
Godfrey Miles, David. You saw that 8 on his jersey. Instead of 28, it was 98. Godfrey Miles, what a play that would have been.
1 minute, 2 seconds left, and let's take another look at the play by
Going
Miles.
to Dexter Carter. And
1:02 on the clock, and here's Richie Andrews, the left-footed kicker out of Fort Lauderdale, to try and give the Seminoles a 10-point lead from straight away. The kick is going to be no good. He hooked it. There was, remember, a breeze of about 20-25 miles an hour he was kicking it into. And the Gators still have a chance. They've still got 1 timeout left, and they'll have the football with 58 seconds left in the ball game. I don't think anybody has left this stadium. Bobby Bowden, Gary Darnell pacing the sidelines. One hoping his team can hold on, the other hoping his team can pull out a late victory. From the 23-yard line, Emmitt Smith moves in motion. Lex Smith delivers it. He's got Emmitt open. Emmitt steps out of bounds for a gain of about 10 up to the 34-yard line. Perfectly timed from Lex to Emmitt.
Bryce Abbott on the tackle, knocking Emmitt out of bounds. Well, we got our fingers crossed, but I think we need a little bit more than that. But Lex Smith has been very impressive, hasn't he?
Only 5 seconds off the clock. Yes, he has, Jim. His pinpoint passing. And you can see he's playing with a great deal of confidence. Steps up in the pocket. Now he's getting pressure and will have to run the ball. He got out to the 40-yard line, and that's it.
And the clock's running.
They've got 1 timeout left. Are they going to use it now? It looks like they are. 39 seconds left. The Gators are forced to use their final timeout, stopping the clock, trailing 24-17. As Lex Smith heads to the Florida sideline to talk about the strategy.
Lex Smith obviously wants to get down the field with a football here, but he feels a little bit of pressure. Now he gets a little antsy. Decides to make what he can of this play, and whoa. There's some Seminoles coming after him right there. Bryce Abbott, the strong safety, got his bell rung. Bobby Bowden says he wants this one to be over.
You know, a more experienced quarterback may have just unloaded the ball, stopped the clock, instead of giving up the timeout. But again, these are youngsters that we're talking about. This young Florida football team. This is a freshman, Lex Smith, And he's in reserve of another freshman who started the game, Donald Douglas.
Oh, and the Gators got to be proud of the way they played tonight, regardless of what happens. It's been one heck of a ball game.
It is 2nd and 5 from the 40-yard line. Oh. And the clock continues to run. 30 seconds left. Florida State doing some celebrating, but there's still 24 seconds left, and Lex Smith tries to hurry him up to the huddle. He has Emmett Smith open. He dropped the pass, and it may be just as well. There would have been absolutely no chance had he caught the ball and been tackled. Now it's 4th down, and the Gators have got to, if nothing else, get a pass that covers 20-25 yards up the field and get out of bounds quickly so that they can take at least one good heave into the end zone. They're at the 35-yard line. 16 seconds left. No timeouts remaining. Florida State leads 24-17. And Terrence Barber just brought the play in from the Florida sideline, number 3. Barber goes wide to the left. Lomack comes wide to the right. Lex Smith goes to the line looking for a miracle. He looks for Lomack down the right sideline. The pass is incomplete, and that will turn the ball over. And that will do it. Florida State is going to win it. 10 seconds left. The Seminoles have the football, and the Gators can't stop the clock. But what an effort by the orange and blue of the University of Florida. Number 6 team in the nation. It may be the number 1 team in the nation, and they fought them right down to the final 10 seconds. I know that won't be good enough in the locker room afterwards, Jim, but they certainly have no reason to hang their heads.
Well, it's been an exciting ball game. It's great for college football with 2 rivals like this come out and duke it out. And Seminoles just having more firepower, having an All-American quarterback. The Gators playing with 2 young quarterbacks.
All Willis has to do is snap it and drop to a knee and run the clock down. That'll be the last play. Florida State wins its 9th in a row and their 3rd straight over the Florida Gators in this heated rivalry, and they've only beaten the Gators 5 times now here in Gainesville. Bobby Bowden searches out Gary Darnell at midfield, and there the two meet. And it was one heck of a football game tonight, but Florida State comes out 1 touchdown better. 24-17 is the final score. Emmett Smith carried for close to 150 yards. Unofficially, we had him for 148.
That was a great effort by Emmett against the Seminoles.
And you wonder if the young man is wondering himself if it's the last time he'll play on this field. There's Peter Tom Willis.
Well, I'm glad it's the last time he'll play here, right? Peter Tom. We're not going to miss him. Seminoles got to be proud of that guy.
We had a tremendous game. He completed 20 out of 30. Up until that final drive, he threw a couple of incompletions late, and he had several drops. Lex Smith came on and played the 4th quarter and marched the Gators 87 yards for their only score of the 2nd half. And Donald Douglas, the true freshman out of Liberty, Texas, played the first 3 periods.
Played well. He just had difficulty throwing the ball.
Florida State wins it in the in-state rivalry. The Noles 24, the Gators 17. We'll be back in a moment.